All right, and we are in. We are now live with another live stream. Welcome everybody to another live stream. Yes, we got a lot to talk about. I hope this time we don't get copyright struck like we did get last time. No, we're gonna have that under control, of course. Although I gotta say, you guys did mention ways to kind of find a workaround. Uh, and in terms of like changing the pitch of the voices of the characters, I didn't have time to do that yet, but we'll be streaming this Saturday. Hopefully we'll definitely stream this Saturday, and that's going to and I'll try to find a solution for that. So yeah, so hey Hosky, I see you on Twitch. Who TF is the woman on the left? She is supposed to be. That's a good thing you ask. She is. Let me pull up my setup here. She's supposed to be May. She's supposed to be a daughter of one of the generals in the show of Avatar: The Last Airbender, and this is how she looks like in the animated show. I did show you her last time, but in case some of you don't remember, because not all of you are all that well versed with the show, but that's why I'm here. I'm here to show you who these characters are. This is supposed to be her. This woman here in the corner, that's supposed to be May. She is a daughter of a Fire Nation general, and as you can see, she's probably, I would say, the skinniest one of them all, and it's her character, her design, like that's the design, that's the way the character has been designed. It's that she is the sleekest one, I guess the most pale one, although they're all kind of pale, but she has the whitest of whitest skin. And let's just say they did not cast the right person for the role. I mean, they were not even trying. I get that they were trying to find the beauty standards for the Eastern Hemisphere, and in Japan or China or whatever, the rounder faces means it's more beautiful. But hey, I've seen, and this goes to all three of them. Although her, I think Kylie, I think that was her name. She looks fine, I would say. If anything, she would be the one with a rounder face, because she does have one in the show. But this goes to all three of them. I've seen cosplays online, and of course, like, this is such a stupid thing that I have to even say it. There are skinnier Asian women who can play this role, and they look great, and I have seen them. I can even share them on Instagram later today. And yes, they look good, and they look better cast for the role than the actresses that we ended up getting. And what did I want to say here? And so this whole excuse that they wanted to cast within the beauty standards of the characters of the nation that they are supposed to represent, I get that, but it doesn't really work if you kind of take into account the fact that Azula is supposed to be this slender, skinny character as well, because she has long nails, she's slender, she has those character qualities of a quote-unquote pointy character. Some of you might be thinking, what is a pointy character? In art, there is this rule that if you have a character that is made up of circles, geometry, circles, they're supposed to represent a warmer character. So, for example, think of Mickey Mouse. If you think about Mickey Mouse, he's composed of 3 different circles, and I guess you could say some circles to make up his body, his shoes, and that's supposed to give you kind of like vibes that he's a friendly, nice character. Now, if you look at a character like Batman, he is like a combination of 2 types of characters. So he is round, like his chest is definitely like you would say it's a circle or a square, and that's supposed to show that a square represents, referring to his chest, he's a strong character. But then when you look at his ears, his ears or his bat ears are pointy, they're triangles. That's what I'm referring to when I say a triangle type character. There's supposed to be sharp edges. When a character is made of sharp edges and stark corners, and that sort of character is supposed to represent it signals a character that is not supposed to be friendly and is usually an antagonist, kind of like Maleficent. She's also a perfect, I think she's a perfect comparison to Azula here. Uh, skinny, slender, and yeah, and she has two horns, Maleficent, of course. So yeah, they did not get those characters right at all, as you guys can see. Better not be Zuko's woman. Oh, well, it's kind of hard to say who Zuko's woman is, I still can't tell you. I guess it was supposed to be one of these characters. And I really like where they ended up taking these characters. Oh, it is. Yeah, that's her. Father, then Azula, Hosky says. Fatter than Azula. Yes. Of course, yeah, she is. And there's Far Cry Lego, Moodcap. And hey guys, I see you on YouTube Live. Let's hope you be safe this time, bro. Yes, like I said, I may not be prepared as I was last time. I think Saturday I'll try to think of something, find ways to perhaps put a filter on the sounds. But let me tell you, last time I got caught was because I thought it would be Netflix, but it was all Paramount's fault. And let me tell you something, it was also because of the Korra clips. It wasn't because of the Avatar, the animated series clips that I was using, which I thought those were the problems. I thought those were the issues, but no, it turns out it was the Legend of Korra. So as you can see, it's always the Legend of Korra that's going to be haunting us, and that's just how it's going to be. Which is crazy because that video was very poor piss quality. It was maximized, so it was cutting off a lot of the edges of the original video, so I thought that was going to be the safe one. Apparently no, that was actually the one that got us cut. And Moodcap says hopefully it doesn't get sniped. If we get sniped again, I'm obviously going to create a new link, a new live stream. And last time I got sniped, you guys went to Twitch straight away, and that was hilarious because I did see like a huge number of people go on Twitch then, and that was funny. But yeah, we'll definitely go to. And then you guys came back on YouTube once you said that I came back on YouTube, so that's good. Far Cry Lego says, "Yup, hopefully no one from the Netflix mafia take out the stream." It's crazy because we were playing a lot of clips from Netflix, and they don't care. Same with the CW team. So yeah, I guess before we start, you guys probably can hear the game in the background, but I did want to show you more clips from the show because we are talking. This video is going to be, well, the title is Spider-Verse Director Sexualize Spider-Man 2099. Oh right, it's directors. I thought I said Spider-Verse Directors Sexualize. I'm like, it should say sexualizes there, but no, it's multiple directors, so I'm fine, I'm good. I did not make a mistake. So yes, the title of the video or the stream is that. However, as you can see also in the thumbnail, the title of the thumbnail is going to perhaps better represent what this stream is going to be about. We're going to play Tomb Raider. That's going to be like a stark contrast of what I'm going to be showing you, partly because we are going to be focusing on nasty women who are essentially running the industry. And it's not just women, but it's also men who do represent that feminine, hostile spirit. And in other words, a lot of gay people, unfortunately, they have that sort of quality to them. But let me tell you, it's also straight men, the normal ones, who also have that quality to them. And I guess you could say men in general have become more feminine over time, so this is probably like true for a lot of especially younger generations as well. So you got to kind of take that into consideration. And if we're going to be kind of going after groups, might as well just be honest about it. Might as well be honest about the whole situation, right? So yes, we have the stream. I was showing you, we started with the Azula thing, and it was something I did talk about on Instagram, and I did kind of allude to in the last episode, the last stream that we did, in terms of how they went about portraying these characters. in that they did make subtle changes. Well, subtle changes is maybe a bit too easygoing on them, but they did make some changes that, especially in the last episode, where you did see them obviously play up the feminist thing. Which, by the way, I did think that this show was going to be serviceable, and if had it not been for the last episode, I think I would have been right. But if you want to consider this a first fail by me, then so be it. I'll admit it. You can't always be right, But I was kind of being irresponsible there, considering this is Netflix who is creating these productions. So I should have known that going in. But still, I did see the casting choices. I did see the changes that they were making. And so I was feeling optimistic for once in my life. And that's just a lesson for me not to do that. And that's just the problem, People will constantly call you a cynic. They will call you a hater. But just because you decide to criticize this stuff. But then once you try to give something the benefit of the doubt, it just ends up blowing up in your face. So it's like, okay, I should have just stuck with my gut feeling on this stuff. Or not even my gut feeling, because in this instance, my gut feeling was that, Netflix was going to treat this property with, this would be like the outlier, right? But then that was my gut feeling, just going off of the casting alone. But then you have to kind of really take logic into account and think about the stuff and admit to yourself, yeah, this is Netflix. It's probably 99% going to be leftist trash. And unfortunately, that's what ended up happening. And you can't say anything to that. But I did want to show you one more clip, I guess, from the show. That's going to be talking about how the moment when they reveal the fact that Zula is the megamind of everything. So let us mute the video game soundtrack, which sounds wonderful. Of course, this is an iconic soundtrack from the game. I remember it even when I was a youngling, a kid that Anakin would wipe out eventually. I do remember this music fondly, even if you haven't played the entire game. It's the Tomb Raider theme is iconic by all means. Let me find this clip because I have so many different things right now on my board. Right, and we first have, let's see. Okay. So here's what we're gonna do. Okay, let me just turn this girl, two of them off. There's two girls on here. Two girls, no cups. So we don't have to worry about that. We would definitely get taken down if that were the case. And maybe I should even take down somewhere. Anakin just felt a disturbance in the force, says Nerd Center. It's great that you're here, Nerd Center, because do you really think so? I figured he already changed his heart, that he found the light, That's what we want from Anakin here. The redemption story arc, which unfortunately cannot be said about Netflix. Let's find... So, again, we got to be very careful here. Because if we are not, then we are going to get sniped. And we're going to flip the screen. Oh yeah, I was going to... Actually, let's keep this Laura here in the background. Because if we don't, it's going to end poorly for us. Far Cry Lego says, nah. And Nerd Center says, well, if we are being technical, he is dead. Hey, that's a spoiler, man. I guess he is. But then if you have to consider the fact that he's already on the light side and he has been redeemed and he is a Force ghost, I guess there's an argument there to be made that he can still interact with people, but I still never understood that. I guess they can interact in the sequel trilogy. We saw them interact with other people in the sequel trilogy. We did see Obi-Wan interact with Luke in Empire Strikes Back, right? Correct me if I'm wrong. On Hoth. So I do think that they can still interact with humans. Those that are alive. Okay. So we got the clip up. and it's going to be the final act thing. Again, this is going to be the general of... So this is from the animated series, of course. What else would this be? This is from the final act. And again, it's not really anything that you should kind of worry about, because even if you're seeing this stuff right now, there's like so many different episodes that and there's so many plot lines. It's kind of like a combination of serialized TV shows with episodic ones. There's a story arc, there's a through line, but there's a lot of episodes. There's so many plot threads that you don't really have to worry about this sort of stuff. So let's watch this clip, and then let's compare it with the other one. And let me get closer to this screen, because it's going to be much easier for me to listen than with you guys. Oh yeah, and let's flip this. And I think somebody already...
You tried to have me killed!
Okay, oh yeah, I was supposed to give you context. I'm sorry. The general that attacked the Water Nation is basically he's in the Water Temple. He's running around, and Zuko, our prince, found him because in an earlier episode, the general essentially betrayed Zuko, and they're both from the Fire Nation. So let's see just how this plays out, right? They're here to have a battle at the end.
Yes, I did. You're the Blue Spirit, an enemy of the Fire Nation. You freed the Avatar. I had no choice.
Somebody already kind of increased the pitch on the video, so that works out for us. Oh, you guys are saying something. Far Cry Lego, he anti a Jedi Master yet. He anti a Jedi Master yet. I don't know what you're talking about. Anti a Jedi Master yet. Are you referring to Anakin? Maybe. The sequel trilogy anti-canon. Facts. And what else there? What else do I have to say there? Far Cry Lego. Oh, that was Far Cry Lego. Nerd Center says yes, they have interacted with Luke several times. Yes. Let's watch this.
You should have chosen to accept your failure, your disgrace. Then, at least, you could have lived.
Yeah, just pause just to make sure everything is safe here, and we're good.
It can't be.
So now the moon spirit is there's a part in the show where the moon spirit gets disrupted because of this guy, and now it's having its revenge.
Take my hand.
So that's actually, admirable of Zuko, even though he's a villain. It's already like, it's nice that there is something like honor in this universe, and it is sort of kind of like when villains die because of their own undoing. It's sort of that scenario here. When you're fighting an opponent, you should want them to, especially if you're a protagonist or a hero, you should want them to have a fair shot at losing, even though they kind of deserve what they got, So it's nice that Zuko was exhibiting this quality this early on. R.I.P. my man. Okay, and so that was the animated series. I guess the only thing I would say about the animated series that sort of doesn't work is the fact that the fire is somewhat inconsistent as a element. Okay, wrong clip. That's the TV show. That's the one I want to compare. But before we do that, there's also the movie version. So for those who aren't aware, before there was a TV show adaptation, there was a movie adaptation, that was panned. It was awful. And the Fire Nation, instead of being Asian, were they were Indian Asian, which is hilarious because everybody loves to complain about the fact that the main characters were whitewashed, but no one ever, well, no one ever. I guess I'm being hyperbolic here. Uh, but everybody likes to omit the fact, again being hyperbolic here, that the Fire Nation was turned into Indians. You know, they were from India. And that's because M. Night Shyamalan, he probably liked Zuko, so he wanted to self-insert himself into the story. Or he wanted himself be kind of that stand-in for that character. And so that's why he probably went with Indians. And it's funny how everybody focuses on the fact that they were white characters, but no one cares about the fact that in this case they were dark-washed. So it went both ways. The original EU had Force Ghost interact with people, says Moodcap on YouTube Live. Yeah, there were probably even more instances of that happening in the comic books as well, since they were expanding a lot of stuff. Hosky says it wasn't just YouTube though, Twitch was acting on as well. Was acting up as well. Okay, that's good to know. Because it was probably, but not to the same extent as YouTube, which totally was trying to take down my entire stream. Like the entire thing, right? Even when I was finished with the stream and it saved, in an hour later, the first video came out came out from the stream, that got pulled down, and I was notified by one of you. In this case, it was Sir Diesel, and so he let me know, hey, did you know that one of your videos that got taken down during the stream and it got saved as a video on YouTube, as is the case, it got also taken down from the video section, and I had to look into it. I had to cut out the Korra clip part, but then I still was able to keep a lot of like the parts that mattered, so that's good. And yeah, so YouTube mainly was really going hard at it. What else are you guys saying here? They have interacted with Luke. Far Cry Lego says, as well as, oh, there are only episode 1 though, 6 Clone Wars and Rebels. That's probably referring to the fact that what you consider to be canon. I assume that's what you're saying, as well as Rogue One. Oh, okay, that's interesting that you liked Rogue One. I would say, looking back on it, Rogue One is kind of a uneventful film with uneventful characters, but the last act is fun to watch, that most people just kind of only think about that when they talk about Rogue One. And if you ask them, hey, what happened in the first 2 hours, I think most people would have hard time telling you what happened. And you could say that applies to a lot of movies, which is fair. But even if I watched that movie, I would probably have a hard time telling you what happens in those first 2 hours. Moodcap also says the one true canon, referring to the EU, and also Far Cry Lego says, yep, and one who says otherwise is high. Moodcap also says, I didn't like the energy bonding nonsense in the finale, just came out of nowhere. There's also the lightsabers it wasn't the finale of Rebels, but there was like the lightsaber sequence when they were using them as helicopters. That was ridiculous. I didn't watch that series, but oh man. And I assume you're talking about Clone Wars, whereas I'm referring to Rebels. So yes, let's watch this clip, and then so yeah, we'll have the animated series, and we'll have this version, and then the movie version, of course, and then the TV show version. So in this case, he's not fighting Zuko. He is confronted by waterbenders. Very similar waterbending fashion, except it's different. And then he gets lifted. Moodcap acknowledges the helicopter lightsabers. in the chat. And yeah, let's skip around because it's just him drowning, which is kind of a savage way to go out. And you could say, it was an unnecessary change, and I agree with that. But it's still better than what we got with the TV show, because at least here you could say, oh, okay, at least the waterbenders got the revenge. And so there's something there that you could say. And plus, seeing him actually drown is kind of savage. Not gonna lie. Savage. Does anyone still say that? And then here should be the TV show version.
He took everything from me.
So this acting here, I've heard a lot of people say that Zuko's acting is that he is the best. This actor here is the best part of the whole thing. I mean, I wouldn't say so. This is how he acts throughout the entire series. It is very fake, very whiny, I said. And Zuko was sort of whiny, but the way he is done here, it comes off like, Woodcap says, the acting reminds me of a high school play. Pretty much. That's a good way to describe it.
He took everything from me.
This line, you took everything away from me. How many characters have said that? It's like a MCU trope at this point, how every villain says, you took everything away from me. Or Wanda from Avengers Endgame also said that. And that face expression.
Yow!
You're alive.
Yeah, so I guess I would say the firebending is a lot better in the TV series than the movies, of course. And so they fight a little bit, and I guess we can just skip past this. Nerd Center just had a traumatic flashback from Doctor Strange Multiverse of Madness at the mention of Wanda. She sure was something in that movie, and I didn't even watch it, but I did see clips of her destroying the entire Illuminati, and I'm saying that, you know, kind of rolling my eyes. Not really rolling my eyes, but, you know, that was not the Illuminati. That was a compilation of all the worst phoned-in characters they could bring forward, and Reed Richards, played by John Krasinski, who then will not reprise his role as Mr. Fantastic in the next movie that's going to be portraying Fantastic Four, because they got Pedro Pascal, who is going to be playing Pedro Pascal, and that's going to be that. Wanda stands are built different. You know, let me tell you something. I'm not a hater of Wanda in the MCU, at least until I even saw what they were trying to do with her to a point in WandaVision. Of course, the ending, and I guess the entire show kind of it's actually somewhat similar to what's happening here, because WandaVision, as you're watching it, you're thinking a lot of things while you're watching it, and you are enjoying it. But then at the end, as they reveal that Wanda's the one responsible for everything, and she does all this stuff, it really recontextualizes the entire series. And at the end, they're trying to make excuses that, oh, deep down inside, you're supposed to feel bad for her because she was actually a good guy, and they will never know what you sacrificed for them, is the famous line, as Monica says that to Wanda, because nothing says sacrifice than turning people into slaves and not allowing them to live their normal lives, making sure that every child in that town gets brainwashed and cannot control their own bodies. Like, nothing tells you they do not know what you sacrificed for them, then doing all those things to those people, and then crying about it like, ooh, my imaginary boyfriend robot sex toy is gone, even though he was never real, as an object in the real world, but also as a character. So that was something. What are we talking about, Stefan Paltu? We're we're rewatching the clips of Avatar: The Last Airbender, to kind of like wrap up this whole discussion about the series. But we're also kind of now talking about Wanda and how she was depicted in the MCU and how she tortured an entire town of people, and then we were supposed to sympathize with her because the TV show writers told us to. And yeah, that's when you kind of drew the line. And then with Multiverse of Madness, she was crazy, she was insane, and I do think that they were sort of trying to make you sympathize with her to a point, especially at the end. But I did enjoy her crazy side and the fact that she did lean into an outright villain, that they were not trying to do this half-assed version of a feminist hero, anti-hero like Harley Quinn has become. She was murdering people left and right, and even though they did try to make her seem like this sympathetic woman, at times at the end, she was still a villain. And you could say that I do think that they will try to redeem her like they did in the comic books, which was a mistake, because she should have never been redeemed for what she did. That's like death penalty right there for killing all those people. No question, no doubt about it. And it's Far Cry Lego says it anti-Doctor Strange 2. It is WandaVision Season 2. Yeah, I guess. It does, yeah. And America Chavez is also heavily involved in that. Nerd Center says in the comics, she also went mad after finding out about her children and took it out on the Avengers. But in the movie, they completely messed all of that up, making her a genocidal maniac. So you're saying that in the movies she does something that's much worse? Oh wait, but in the movie they completely messed up all of that, making her a genocidal maniac. Well, she was a genocidal maniac in the comic books with the No More Mutants incident, right? So I guess if that's what they did in the movies, I guess I would say that that holds up to what happened in the comic books. And she was willing to kill everybody. So that's what I mean when I say, and I do like Elizabeth Olsen as Wanda. I really do like how she plays her, even though it's sometimes she's not given a lot of good stuff, and I don't think that Elizabeth Olsen is like this perfect actress, but I do like the character. There's something that I like about the character, except all the writing issues that plague her, because I did enjoy her character even before all this stuff with WandaVision. Yes, and Stefan Paltu says, interestingly enough, the girls loved Wanda after she enslaved the town. Agreed, Wanda going full villain was entertaining in Mom. Thank you. I agree that you agree. I agree with your agreement. Far Cry Lego, Wanda has not gone full war crime yet in the film. Yet. I mean, enslaving people in a town, and then attacking an entire temple with people and snapping their necks, killing all of them. I do think she has gone full war crime. I guess maybe if you say war, I guess you mean on like a larger scale. I guess not. But she's close. She's very close. Nerd Center, it had, referring to his comment earlier made, it had similar things from the comics, but it just wasn't handled as well, in my opinion. Hard to explain it in a short message. Fair, that's fair. Far Cry Lego, yeah, she did not do No More Mutants yet in the films, and I'm pretty sure she didn't do a lot of other things as well. Because I know that Nerd Center is very well versed in the comic books, especially the Avengers ones, and he knows a lot. He is your go-to guy when it comes to Black Knight, and I think the stream is running smoothly for now. So yeah, good. All right. So yeah, let's continue this fight. It should end soon.
You ruined everything
You ruined everything.
You ruined everything.
Yeah, I don't know what's going on there. That's how he acts in the show.
The Avatar was mine. My mission was...
Your mission
Those
was a
faces.
sham. Ozai was playing with you. It was all a game.
I can't be the only one, and I guess this isn't the best shot, but he reminds me of a Asian male version of Ice Spice. That's just what I'm gonna say.
And the winner is the one without the scar from Daddy. Ozai was just using you.
Okay, so that's going to be the key information. Ozai was just using you.
As motivation for your sister.
As motivation for your sister. So you could say, okay, what he's saying, oh, Ozai was just using you or trying to perhaps just make playing with you. He could have just said that, and you could have taken that as false narration or false information that's just trying to intimidate him during a battle. But then by adding the fact that he said, by adding the words, he was using you to prop up his sister, to prop up your sister, that's a piece of information that's, I guess it would get to him as well. But you didn't really necessarily need that because, well, we don't see them interact with his sister yet. And so that's kind of like out of left field. And later that gets reaffirmed, like this notion that he was using her to improve his sister, you know, that gets reaffirmed later, later in the show, or like just a couple of minutes after this scene.
You're lying! Admit you're lying!
Who do you think was my ally?
And then he says, who do you think was my ally? And so, yeah, that's another thing that goes to show that, oh yeah, this is a true statement.
Through all this.
By the way, again, none of this was in the original show, right? This is the matting stuff into it. And Azula, his sister, was not even in the first season. So they're adding her into the first season. And at first, I thought that I was a bit confused why they were doing it, why they were showing scenes of her training in episode 3 or 4. That made no sense to me. I'm like, are you just trying to be different? Are you just trying to capitalize on this fan favorite character? And it's later, and I guess this last episode puts everything into context. And I seen better acting in school play. Laughing his head off till death, says Far Cry Lego.
Azula told me everything I needed to know.
Flashbacks.
You were the fire in which her iron was forged. That's all you were.
Again, you are the fire by which she was forged, or with which she was forged. It's like, okay, and they're showing flashbacks, and then they're trying to fill in the gaps of how he learned a lot of this information, and they're saying, oh, she was the one who told him everything. How were you guys keeping contact if she was far away from you? You guys were oceans apart. How? It makes no sense, right? But that's the writer's inconsistency. The part that is reaffirmed here is that she was helping him. That's supposed to be treated as a fact. And then there's the part that, oh, you, Zuko, you who were in the animated series, you were a character who stood on his own. Uh-oh, I think the stream went kind of crazy for 1 second, but I think we should be fine. I just want to make sure that none of this cuts out, because I think it's important stuff that we're talking about, or at least somewhat interesting. So, yeah, Zuko, who was this independent, standalone character with his own motivations and his own father dynamic, you know, that you had that in the animated series, and then in this show, they're kind of making him a loser because he's not even the main character who is being downplayed by his own father. Instead, it is Azula who is actually being propped up, and that goes to show you how obsessed these guys are with, like, propping up the female characters who are already beloved by so many. What is Okay, so he was gonna kill him. No doubt about it. And then again, you know, you could argue that that in the animated show they were fighting and they were clearly trying to kill each other, but it was a fight that was supposed to be honorable. Both of them were putting in their best. Here he was going to kill him with an actual, while he was sitting down, while he was down already. So he was going to kill him, and had he not moved, he would have been cooked. And I guess I'm going to show you that again, just to see if, just to see the fact that he would have killed him. But we'll also get to see his amazing acting once again. He's taking a dump or something, I don't even know. Throwing a tantrum. I don't even know what happened there. It's the camera was positioned way differently, and then it cut to him being already walking away. That's weird. Okay, so now he's gonna, obviously he's a super villain, therefore he must attack him from the back, of course. All right, I'll take that, whatever. He formed a whip with his fire. Okay, that makes, I didn't see that in the original show. So, okay. And then somebody attacks him from the back, and it was his uncle, who has become somewhat of a pacifist, at least up to a certain point. He was always somewhat passive in terms when it came to fighting. He didn't want to fight as much, but then in this show, he goes as far as he kills him, and I guess it makes sense. You know, if you're going to be playing dirty tricks, don't take it up with anyone if somebody's going to kill you for that. But having Iroh do that, you know, in the movie, even though it was obviously bad, at least he had waterbenders kill him, which did go back to the fact that, okay, this guy attacked their base, and so at least there's some kind of satisfaction you get out of that. In the original, you have the moon spirit basically having his revenge, and that also is satisfying. And plus you mix that up with the fact that you have Zuko trying to save the dude, you know, then that just makes for a very somewhat satisfying and tragic scene, whereas this is just Iroh killing him, and it's nothing. It's really nothing. And then, yeah, that was that. Yeah, so that was the scene. And as you can see, they made, and so at the end, when Azula essentially becomes, let's see if we can pull that up again. Was this? No. When Azula becomes the commander and we see her take over the role, it basically reaffirms the notion that, yeah, she is the one who we're supposed to be rooting for, and she is the main villain of the show in a lot of ways, instead of it being Zuko, at least at first, right? She's already introduced way ahead of everything else. I can't find this clip. I think it's, oh, I know where it is. There it is.
Why attack the North at all?
Yes.
Distraction.
And so yeah, you guys already saw this clip, so I'm not going to show all of it, but you guys saw this clip, and this is just to kind of refresh your memory what they did with the characters. Yep, amazing acting. Once again, it's not Zuko, not just Zuko, but it is mainly him who gives that sort of performance. So anyway, but yeah, so why did I talk about this? Well, because first of all, I kind of wanted to close talking about this show, at least in the live streams. I'm definitely gonna talk about it some more in the videos and on Instagram if I get the chance. Maybe I'll do a video. I probably won't, but on Instagram I'll definitely drop something about it, because more stuff will come out. But this stream is called, at least in the thumbnail, it is about like the nasty women and all that stuff. So that's what I wanted to highlight partially, the feminization of a lot of the media, even though you already have beloved characters. Even then, that's not enough. Even then, they have to be propelled. And that's not even talking about the water, with the female water benders that I already showed you in the previous episode. Let's see if you guys are saying anything. Black Knight shoutout, says Nerd Center. Yeah, I thought you would like that. Moodcap, I can't take it seriously with the high school. Oh yeah, I already said that. Oh no, that's Moodcap saying something else. I can't take it seriously with the high school play acting and what they did to the kids' hair. Some things just don't translate to live action. To be fair, everybody's hair looks like a wig. And I do think there's a way of doing it without making it look so fake. We did have you a comparison last stream where we did show you the version from the movies, the girl with the white hair, who we did see how she looked with in the movies, which looked way better, didn't look fake, but then in this show, it looks like an outright wig, and it's embarrassing to look at, and it doesn't even look right on the actress. She looks like she's from Euphoria, so it's all around awful. So yes, partly why we were talking about this stuff is because part of it is about like the feminization of Hollywood and movies, which has been well documented by many other people. But we also wanted to talk about this situation with how it's also infected a lot of male creators, male writers, mainly with, that could be said about like the whole Spider-Verse movie, which I have so many negative opinions. You know, I have so much negative things to say about that movie and its predecessor as well. Just the whole multiverse thing. It has gone insane. And did you guys hear? Avatar: The Last Airbender wants to do a multiverse storyline as well, with Aang being able to communicate not only with his past lives, but also his alt versions. Far Cry Lego says, yeah, I heard it. Yeah, it's insane. How they're even shoving multiverse into this. I mean, I say this all the time. Multiverses stagger creativity, and we've lived long enough to see that finally materialize to the point where it represents why it was wrong to begin with. Because at first, people kind of enjoyed the concept, but to be honest with you, I would say it was always a flawed concept. And sometimes it just takes time. It just takes things, it takes time for things to develop into to reveal their true nature. That's what I'll say about that. And I think multiverse, and not just that, but a lot of the social commentary that seemed somewhat innocent in the 80s, 90s, has gone on to eventually become what many would call woke, right? And then they would make this differentiation. There is woke, and then there is the right sort of way of talking about social justice. But it's all the same, really, because it all represents an untrue depiction of reality. And once you start doing it, no matter how sensitive it is to everyone, eventually it will spiral into degradation, right? So it's a matter of time more than anything, and a matter of people being able to accept it, and others who are willing to put up with it. And so now that brings us over to talking about the Spider-Verse situation, which I want to kick off with X-Men 97. I know it seems like we are kind of jumping around all places, but it does have a point.
The internet are losing their...
And we're going to start with this clown here. I'm sorry if maybe he's not a clown. I've seen some of his other stuff, but this is an awful take. Just an awful take all around. And I saw him on Instagram. I did want to talk about him sooner, but I figured, okay, I don't want to just attack somebody or disagree with someone, which I'm really good at doing apparently. But, you know, now that I saw what happened with all the other stuff, you know, you just got to call out the hypocrisy that is happening. And you cannot say it's not happening. And you're thinking like, what hypocrisy? What are you talking about? Okay, I guess we should just watch the clip then. Yeah, let's watch it.
Fucking minds based off this decision in X-Men 97. And apparently people are freaking out because it's being confirmed that the character of Morph is non-binary. So now people are screaming.
Sorry, I forgot to mute the audio from the game. Let's replay that to make sure you guys heard everything from the beginning. Oh, and for context, he's talking about X-Men 97 and the whole Morph situation, since he has been made non-binary in the show, in the new one. And he's going to argue that he has always been non-binary.
Fucking minds based off this decision in X-Men 97. And apparently people are freaking out because it's being confirmed that the character of Morph is non-binary. So now people are screaming from the rooftops that X-Men is going woke. But this outrage specifically, I don't fucking get. One, if you just look at the term of the definition non-binary, it's just...
Okay, and he pulls out the definition of non-binary, and he's going to make the case right now that, oh, he's always been non-binary, which is not true. Because just because you can shapeshift does not mean that you are non-binary. You know, it's one of the arguments I go to. Is Ben 10 who can transform into different aliens? Is he trans species? Is poison ivy a what's the word for people who are attracted to plants? The Google definition, right? Hey, I'm a fan of Google definitions. I'm also a fan of Google AI. They're incredible AI that is very historically accurate when it comes to telling you who the Greeks were, and of course they were African American athletes with dreadlocks, dark skin. Of course, those were the ancient Greeks that everybody thinks about. Yeah. Of course, Google, our best friend. You know, but I think Google is useful, even though it obviously pushes a lot of agendas. Just like Wikipedia, it's kind of like a thing that kind of, you know, it's like there's actually feds who are on Wikipedia who are controlling the information and relaying it to you, and hoping that it, you know, they frame a lot of the articles on there. And what you think about Wikipedia, about it being this free source of information where anyone can go there and write whatever they like, and of course it can get taken down or it stays. That's not true. It's a lot more monitored. It's a lot more regulated. Well, regulated when it comes to their internal systems that they have and their processes. You have to have some amount of credits in order to even be an editor in certain articles. So again, and of course, who will ever doubt the fact that Google is not pushing any agenda? It's like nobody's going to argue against that. Everybody can agree that they are a progressive company. And yeah, so this guy is pulling out this non-binary gender. And it's like, dude, what are you doing? Like, again, shape-shifting doesn't mean that you are non-binary or that you are trans, sexual or anything of that sort. That one does not mean the other. And so that's a bad argument on its own. But then he continues by referencing something else.
Someone that doesn't identify as a male or female, which
again, he was not even identifying as a male. He was a man.
The character of Morph is literally a shapeshifter, which means he can be a man or a woman.
Yes. And
so it makes sense that the character doesn't identify as either. There's literally
it makes sense. So, okay. So you're not even saying that it is the case, but you're saying that it could be a connection, but we'll be back. Oh no. And we are back. Are we back? Reload player on Twitch, guys. We are back on Twitch. Hosk, I know that we're back, right? Right? Maybe. And then on YouTube, how is everybody on YouTube doing? Are we back on YouTube? Uh-oh. Are we back on YouTube, everyone? What's going on? We're still on YouTube, right? You are back? Okay. Let me just check if the link is still the same on Instagram, the one that I sent out to some of my followers, just to make sure that it is the same one. And it is the same one, and it did not get disrupted. Good to know. Hoske said on Twitch that this guy looks like a character from the Rush Hour. No disagreements there. And you guys on YouTube are saying that I am back, so that's good. I don't know where it cut me off, but I was saying that, I don't remember, but Nerd Center said something interesting. The definition definitely existed in 1997, I'm sure too. Yeah, it's like that's another thing. Non-binary was definitely something that was going through somebody's head. But I do think that perhaps you could make an argument that the notion of transgenderism or anything, that's the thing. When you say, you could say something about like Wonder Woman being later turned into if Wonder Woman were to be turned into a trans man, right? And someone were to say, well, it's in line with the character because she was always feminist. Some people would say, like you are saying right now, that 1994 or whichever year she was created, they were not thinking about transgender people. And maybe they weren't in the same way that we think of them now. But feminism is, let me put it this way, transgenderism is a natural successor to feminism. So it's all in the same boat. If you're going to start with feminism, you're saying, okay, both sexes are equal, both sexes are the same, both sexes ought to be treated the same way. You're essentially saying that trans people, you can, if we're all the same, then we can, of course, just change our genders, right? So that's just logical thinking. So even though perhaps, and this goes to say something about this as well, that if, perhaps they did not have those terms back then, but, dang it, my screen went off for the game because my Switch turned off, but that's okay. We'll worry about that later, I guess. But what was I saying? Right. Just because they didn't have those terms doesn't mean that they did not have that sort of mindset that put everything into what it is now. All right. Let me just make sure that everything. Okay, cool. We're back with the whole thing. With the game. Funny how making her a man is, again, these stupid chat things are blocking what you guys are saying. Pop out chat. I'm gonna put you guys in the pop up chat. Yes. Funny how making her a man is the feminism side. Essentially, because that's what feminism is. And that's why I titled this video How Nasty Women Are Controlling Everything right now in media. And of course, that's not only referring to women, but it's mainly referring to feminine men who are very feminine and embrace that fact about themselves. But also, nasty women are the type who do want to be men. And I guess this is where we're going to go now. This is a good way to transition into what he's going to say right now.
And believe me, don't get me wrong, I have been noticing that a lot of things have been pushing certain agendas lately. But to use that example with X-Men, it doesn't make sense.
Okay, so he agrees that the message has been pushed several times. Okay, whatever. The typical olive branch that he's extending to show that he is this fair individual. It's like, okay, whatever. I'm not buying into it, but whatever. What are you saying next?
Because X-Men's always been woke. The first edition.
And we've talked about this whole thing. Has X-Men been always woke or not? And so that's the whole discussion that I guess we don't have to get into once again, because I find it somewhat redundant if we were to kind of go back to it, because the general gist of it is that Stanley did not try to make it woke, and he never intended to be that way, at least consciously. And it was but then again, Chris Claremont did make it quote unquote woke. And so, I think that should be enough for you to kind of be able to see where the characters are coming from, or at least what they represent, and whether we should approach them with a sense of distance. And I think the answer to that is, I would say, yes. But then, even then, it's like the civil rights movement being a stand-in for the X-Men. That was an 80s thing, not a 60s thing. But then again, it was done, and it was done with a modern lens. So again, Chris Claremont, you guys have that going for your whole argument, and I would not disagree with that at all. I don't think you need Stan Lee to make the point that X-Men unfortunately has been woke in more ways than one in the past, in the 80s and 90s.
Of the X-Men was literally made in 1963 at the height of the civil rights movement.
Okay, this whole thing about how it was made at the height of the civil rights movement, which is probably not even accurate. But okay. It's like, so what? Superheroes were created during the height of the civil rights movement, and what we're supposed to we're supposed to try to find every sort of thing that's connected to the civil rights movement or anything that was happening at that time, and connected to everything that's happening in the comic books. Like, come on.
And this whole thing was made as an allegory for that movement. Hell, it's pretty obvious to me, at least, that Magneto and Professor X are a representation of Martin Luther King and Malcolm X.
That was an 80s inclusion, not 60s, again. And the whole thing about Magneto being a Jew, again, that was also an 80s thing. And also the mutant thing. He was outright evil in that. So, you making that sort of comparison that Malcolm X was Magneto, you're saying that he was an outright supervillain, because in the 60s there was no nuance with Magneto whatsoever. And with Professor Xavier, he was just your typical father figure who was helping out these kids. There was, again, nothing from an ideological perspective. And maybe you could make an argument for Professor Xavier, him being a good guy, and Martin Luther King being what some would consider a good guy. But even in the 60s, a lot of people did not consider Martin Luther King Jr. to be a good guy. Not even the black community. I watched John Doyle's video on the whole Martin Luther King Jr. thing, and he brought up something about saying how black people, like 50% of them at that time, did not think that 50% of like the black community did not trust Martin Luther King Jr. They didn't, 50% of them. And then it was like the death that sort of kind of recontextualized his whole legacy, and media doing what media does. They turn him into this greater figure than he actually was. Here comes the X-Men have always been woke. Yeah, says Nerd Center. Claremont did add some woke, quote unquote, elements, but it never overshadowed the story or pushed it onto the reader in any way. And I would argue that, okay, yes, yeah, I guess, but again, I would point to the fact that what Chris Claremont introduced was the introduction of what we have now, and the difference between what Claremont did and what a lot of the people who are working at Marvel now are doing is that he was just doing it in the 80s. Had he gotten his starts today, he would be the person who would be going heavily into this stuff. But because he started in the 80s, he had the 80s mindset. And you're also saying that I remember 60s Professor X crushing on his teenage student Jean. That was in the first issue. I remember that as well. And he's going to bring up Mystique and Destiny, which, again, well, actually, we did talk about that in the previous streams, one of the previous ones. So that was even a thing in the 90s where they would go to a disco dance together and Mystique would turn into a man. So that was actually something that I think it was Nerd Center that sent it to us. Or maybe it was Sir Deedsel. I always get those two confused for some reason. But yeah, one of those guys sent it to me, and yeah, we saw it on the stream.
Plus, they've been making characters queer in their comics for years, like Mystique, Shadowstar, Kitty Pryde.
Shadowstar was not gay. Again, that's a modern thing, right? And then Kitty Pryde, what? She was turned into a Jewish woman later?
So I just feel like...
Wait, did he just show Kitty Pryde and refuse to elaborate? And he probably just thought that, okay, Ellen Page is there, therefore... What is he referring to? This guy is totally clueless. What is he even trying to refer to? Weird. Yeah, Nerd Center says Kitty Pryde is not gay. What is this guy on?
If you're mad about this, you just haven't been paying attention to the X-Men, like, ever.
What about you? You just made up stuff.
Also, this shit is making some real weirdos come out. Like, weirdos saying they nerfed Rogue because they got rid of her huge ass. It's a fucking cartoon. Like, go touch some grass. Listen, I'm fully on the side that sometimes there's being...
And that's what I wanted to talk about. This thing here. Because, like, I think most people are mostly saying this with a half jokingly and half serious when they say that they robbed us of her butt, because it's a funny meme to make light of, you know, this whole situation. So he's at this point using a strawman, this whole thing that, oh, you guys are just being so creepy and weird about her having a flat ass now. That's a strawman. You're strawmanning people. It's not even an argument, so it's not worth paying attention to because you don't have an actual argument, so you just rather resort to something like a very cheap go-to argument that doesn't even hold any water because, yeah, they did shrink her butt, and it goes to show you that they are just desexualizing or making women just ugly in general. It's not even a matter of, hey, she is sexualized or she is not sexualized, which is a topic of its own. And I would definitely take the position of, okay, maybe we should not necessarily sexualize everything, especially not every female character. But there's also this issue of female characters being outright ugly these days, especially the most popular ones in popular media. And this is another case of somebody taking a character, making her more just less of what she was before, changing her to have features that are toned down. And this is what I wanted to talk about. This is why I brought it up mainly, because this is what I kind of wanted to transition to, and why I even went back to this clip, because he's trying to, of course, make a strawman argument, which already tells me that he has no argument. But then again, there's a lot of people who would be saying this. But then you have an instance of this being a case, a Spider-Man Across the Spider-Verse story. A story that says that they purposefully turn Miguel O'Hara into a thirst trap by making his butt the focus of every scene that he was in, almost every scene. The ones that introduced him, that played a huge role. And you always notice this, that these people never take issue with this stuff. So it's always hilarious how they always point to like one side, oh, you guys are being so weird by noticing something that is genuinely concerning. But then you take these weirdos who are going out of their way to turn characters into actual thirst traps. And the hypocrisy is there, because if those guys are weird, then these guys are on another level of perverted. And this is, by the way, this is the writer of the new show. This is what he reposted. The writer of X-Men 97. This is what he reposted. So this is the other thing I want to talk about. Partly why this stream is called Nasty Women, Run the Hood. It's because run the media, run everything. This whole mindset of nasty women is somebody already got ahead of me in the comments. And the Nightwing of Marvel, says Nerd Center. The Nightwing example is perfect. They take male characters, and of course, when they sexualize men, what do they always go to? The butt. And why? Because they have nothing to cling on to, right? They don't have boobies. And the only thing you can kind of accentuate with a in a way that's somewhat still appropriate, but and not in your face, it is their behinds. So that's what they're going to be focusing on. And you saw this in Gotham Knights when Harley Quinn was over objectifying the guy, when Harley Quinn in the Suicide Squad, objectifying Nightwing in the game. In the Suicide Squad, she was then objectifying Deadshot. And you have so many instances where it's okay. Nightwing is a perfect example where they're constantly, in every comic book, even on the covers, they call him the best butt of the DC universe, with Tom Taylor's storyline. Every single story, Gail Simone is obsessed with it. Everyone is obsessed with this butt because that's what these women are clinging on to, and every one of these people is clinging on to because they are essentially doing what feminism is doing, which is, trying to make women into men, because men are very, they're more visual creatures, you could say, and they tend to gravitate towards the visuals, and then the women are supposed to be somewhat different than that. That doesn't mean they don't have, any sort of attraction towards men or anything of that sort. Far from it, they do. But this modern trend of feminism and the way society has, the way women have become is you can already think of the archetype of a 30-year-old wine mom or 30-year-old party moms who are meeting together during a bachelor's meeting, drinking, acting like they're still 16 years old, and acting stupid. It's basically women acting like men, and not even responsible men, but they're trying to turn women into locker room men. And so that's basically what the nasty woman is. That's what this whole thing about women trying to own their own sexuality is. It is about not appealing to the male gaze, not because it's about independence, even though they say that's what it is about. It really is about them trying to be men. They're saying, I should be able to free the nipple. I should be able to behave like you. I should be able to be, as they would say, as condescending as you, without the backlash I would get and you would not get. They're basically they're just bitter that they are treated differently than men for a lot of the things that they do. And that is seemed inappropriate for a lot of women. And it's this bitter personality, this bitter Jezebel spirit that lives within them, because they are just mad that they do not get to rule over a man or even be an equal to him. And so when they do have to think of, like an equivalent of over-sexualizing somebody, it is the butt shot. It is comments like this. Spider-Man Across the Spider-Verse directors reveal Miguel O'Hara was designed to be a thirst trap. And this is this is a image of, let me grab and zoom in. This is an image of one of my stories on Instagram. This was my reaction, and this is what he's saying. So the two directors were asked about anything, like I think the question was something like, are you surprised about the reception? Are you surprised about anything from the movie that maybe perhaps took off and you didn't expect it would? And one of the directors, because there were three, I believe, on this movie, one of them says Miguel's butt. He laughs. And then the other director says, Thompson here, who looks very, let's just say, Hollyweirdy. You can read into that, definitely however you like. Thompson says, I've got to push back on that. Let's just say he looks like, what's his name? The guy who's responsible, the producer behind, what's that TV show, Netflix TV show about, dang it, stars Evan Peters and that serial killer, that homosexual serial killer. What's his name? Oh, not Omar. I don't know why. But the producer responsible for that series, that was a major hit last year because of how gross it was with its depiction of the murders. But he's also the producer of American Horror Story. Let me search him up. I think it should be Gordon Murphy or something like that. Hold on. Horror Story. Netflix producer. I don't know why I'm blanking on his name. Ryan Murphy, that's what it was. Ryan Murphy, who, let's see what he worked on as well. He worked on Glee, right? He worked on Glee. He worked on a lot of TV shows that you probably recognize from the name American Horror Story, Dahmer, Ratched, Hollywood, a lot of gay TV shows. He looks like him. He gives me the same vibes. So this is who he reminds me of. And this is what he said. From day one, I said, I'm on butt duty. I want to make sure his butt is as tight as possible. I want close-ups. I want to get the cameras there. I want him to turn. I want his back to the camera when we first introduce him, referring to Miguel O'Hara, so you can really appreciate it. So no, I was not surprised. Yeah, just no comment. I mean, again, with this guy that complained about the X-Men, then go to this guy and say, hey, and then also to this writer here. Would he do, what's his name? DeMayo, the mayonnaise. Would he go to him and say, oh, you're actually creepy? Because with the Rogue thing, people are half joking, right? Especially with the Batman memes. But these guys are genuinely trying to make this point. They're trying to subvert the notion of oh, it's the flipping the script. Oh, it's the men who are objectified, and that's where you're gonna get, right? So that's the whole situation there. And I think we went over that pretty well. Let's see what you guys are saying actually. Funny how making her a man is the feminism side, right? Yeah, that definitely goes back to what we said. On Twitch, Hosuke is silent. Silent but deadly. Okay. I'll read your comments while I play the game, actually. Just let me grab something. A drink. All right. Game is already turning black on us. It was trying to do that several times. And let me make sure that the game is louder this time than it was before. Because that definitely was not the case. All right. All right. Let's go where we left off last time. So let's read your comments. And for those who don't know, as Laura, we killed all these wolves in this room. Gotta remember all the controls again. Hold on, let me readjust this thing again. Here we go. I guess that's more comfortable. Okay. And let's see. I'm trying to remember the controls because we haven't watched them we haven't played this game in a week. Alright, your comments. This dude probably read some wiki fandom page referring to the guy that was complaining. Yes, he was. I mean, that's usually how most of them go. They're just fans of whatever is popular. And what is this? Oh my gosh! Where did he come from? Stupid bear, die. No, pull up the gun. Oh, thank goodness. Where did he come from? That's crazy. He just barged inside and he knew where he was, like, looking for me. What is wrong with this bear? Goodness gracious. I gotta heal after this. A lot of people do just read the wikis. Yes, let's run. Let's put these down. They read the wikis and they don't care about anything else. Because it's much easier just to read the whole thing. But then again, what's up with the Kitty Pryde thing? Why would you say that she is gay or anything? Was he maybe referring to the fact that she was Jewish? Is that it? Oh, more wolves. Great. And he's dead. Stupid wolves. Trying to scare us, huh? What is this area here? Okay, what else are you guys saying? I'm just scared that another bear will come out of nowhere and just attack me. In Suicide Squad Killed the Justice League, Captain Boomerang makes the same stupid joke about Nightwing's ass. Does he? Seriously? Captain Boomerang, you think he'd have more respect for his homie? For a different man? But I guess not. All these writers are obsessed. This is how the game looks like in the remasters. You can take a good look at Laura in the new graphics, which do look kind of cool. But then again, in other sequences, they look too dark. And that's why we're playing on the original graphics, because that's the way it was designed. And we don't want to take away from that. Because if we miss anything, let's see how this looks. Doesn't look all that cool. In the new graphics, there's a lever here. And there's some stuff here as well. Whatever this may be. Oh gosh, this place is gonna... Oh gosh. Stay away from me. There we go. Nothing to cry about. Okay, we were here before, so let's go back. Jeffrey Dahmer, thank you. See, you already knew, but I kind of got... I had to look it up myself because I didn't know for sure. It's like, oh goodness gracious, another crazy guy attacking me. Stupid wolves, where are they coming from? They know where I'm coming from already? These jump scares are crazy. Let's just make sure we kill everybody here. So here we have a lever. And in the new graphics, you don't even see them. Let's see what this does. Hopefully it's not a trap that... Okay, this is strange. I do not want to go inside. Oh, what is that? Oh, it's just skin. But that looks gross and scary too. Let's go inside and let's see. Let's hope we don't die. How about that? Okay, nothing to be scared of right now. Oh no. Okay. So have you guys been reading anything interesting? Any interesting comic books that you guys recommend? Oh gosh. Hey, come on. I jumped. See, I don't know if that's the fault of the game Or if that's just default. I wonder what happens if we fall inside of this black hole. Doesn't seem all that black, but I think it's gonna collapse once we kind of step on it. It did not collapse. Okay. Interesting. Nerd Center, as apparently they made Kitty bisexual in 2020, even saying that Claremont always intended for her to be with Rachel Summers. Did they actually make her? Did they actually make her a bisexual character? Okay, that's annoying. I'm pretty sure that is the Switch controls being just stupid right now. In what comic book they made her that way? Makes no sense for me. It wouldn't necessarily surprise, oh, if that were true. Okay, so it's... So you're not saying it happened for sure, but you're saying that it could have happened. I mean, that it wouldn't surprise you if it were to happen. Wait, what? It did happen? Marauders 12? Oh my goodness, if it did happen. Okay, I'm pressing the jump button all the time. That's just annoying. See, now it works like without a problem. Let's try this one more time. It's not that easy controlling this character. But that's all part of the game. You gotta time everything. Step back a little bit. Step up by one step. And jump, jump, jump. There we go. Oh, what is this music now? Oh gosh, go, go, go. Oh, we barely made it. That was good. We did it. Now what happens if we fall? This music, you guys are hearing it. Let's turn this up. There we go. Let's look around this place. This is the new graphics. Okay. Let's look around this place. Okay. This music is not scary at all. I mean, it's not. But it makes you think what's gonna happen. What is this? So what should we do? Should we interact with this, or should we walk into the... See, like, this is confusing. Like, what is this for? I think if we stand on it long enough, we'll find out. And I don't want to find out. What is the action of this? I want to use this. There we go. Gotta hold it or what? Oh, we gotta pull it or something? Okay. See, this reminds me of The Legend of Zelda. Okay. Except, you know how the 2D games were very much puzzle-oriented? Oh, okay, I see. You can only pull. Is there going to be a wolf hidden in there? Because I'm not about those wolves. We can't get up because of the... I see, alright. Let's pull out the guns and let's see what happens. Oh. It's the exit. Okay. They reference in the interview with Claremont about him always wanting her to be with a woman. Are you kidding me? This guy is... Like, come on. It keeps getting worse. I thought he was bad enough. But the fact that you keep telling... More bats? Where? There it is. Come on, one. can't touch me. Okay, what is this? Apparently some of these, like last episode in the part 1, there was like a mummy. This is her. Look how pretty she is. I'll compare it to this version. The fact that Chris Claremont is out there saying this stuff, it just proves to you that he's just like really. Oh, what is this? Proves to you that he is really the man that you thought he was. And, you know, it kind of goes to show that what I said about him really holds up. Oh, there's a key. Cool. I thought this was the exit. Guess it wasn't. So, when it comes to playing the games, I was thinking, of course, I want to make Saturdays the more Batman Arkham-oriented games. Whereas on Mondays, we want to do more retro games. There's nothing here. And I figured we should run some polls about it. But then again, it's like, would you guys, maybe there's no need for a poll. Because I want to know if you guys would, when it comes to, then again, I don't know if everybody's here. Let's see. Why you play some of Doom games on Mondays? That's a good proposition. What would I play it on? Is there a... I think they're even available on the Switch, actually. So maybe it's a possibility, you know? It's something I should just pull, because a lot of people have different preferences. And there's a lot of stuff that's coming out right now. And I think it would be interesting to play some of that stuff. Like, for example, Final Fantasy VII is coming out. I'd like to start Final Fantasy VII, the original one. But then the question is, would you guys even want to watch that? Huh. It appears we may be stuck. Let's pull this thing until the end and let's see what happens. Because maybe there's a way out of this place. She is strong. So, for example, on Saturdays, when it comes to playing the superhero games, there is, of course, we could go after Batman Arkham Asylum, we could do Batman Arkham City, or we could do Spider-Man 2, or we could do something else, like one of the Wolverine games. I have no idea how we're going to get back there. I'm almost convinced that there's no way of going back up there. It almost seems like we're definitely not going that way. Let's look around this place. Okay. And there's nothing to be gained going up there, right? I want to play every Fallout game as well. I want you to play every Fallout game. That would be interesting, but those are very long games. Same with Final Fantasy VII, so it's a matter of asking you guys. So I guess the question to you guys would be, when it comes to both the superhero games, you can kind of give me like a number of games that you would like to see for Saturdays and Mondays. So of course retro games, and you can include up to PlayStation 2 as well. But like franchises that you think would be great to see. I think there's something up here if you look at it, see? I think we can go up here. But can we fit the whole thing inside? Yeah, we can. Okay. I think we just found our way out. See, this is how it reminds me of Zelda. It forces you to think about your environment. So, yeah. So while I'm pulling this... Nope. Keep pulling it, Laura. Come on. I'll read your comments. So yeah, for example, on Mondays, you can think, can we fit this? Because if not, then we're screwed, because Yeah, it works. Cool. Awesome. Mondays would be like the typical games you would play. And then on Saturdays, it would be the superhero games. For example, Arkham Asylum, Arkham City. What is she doing? No, no, no. Don't pull. Don't pull. Don't pull, Laura. Stop. Just pull. There's several I can think of. Like, for example, the original The Last of Us, the first one. I know somebody wanted me to play that as well. Also for... Say it's a matter of... I guess for the superhero ones, it would be Spider-Man 2. And between Arkham City, really. Far Cry Lego with some mods for 3, New Vegas, and 4. Laura, pull this way. With some mods for 3, New Vegas, and 4. Okay, so PC, I see. I know some good guides for making 3 New Vegas and 4 to run smoothly. It's hilarious how everybody has to basically clean up after Bethesda because they can't put out working games. Okay, we found our way out, boys and girls. Hopefully no more bats and bears. Especially no... There's bats, okay. Is it dead? Okay, cool. We are out of here. I can see a medkit in the dark. Let's see how it looks here. Okay, it's not that bad. And we can see a bat hanging from the ceiling. Come on. Don't do this to me, game. Not now. Oh crap, what is going on? That's illegal. That's cheating, broken game. Let's see. What about Ultimate Alliance 1 and 2? I don't know. Ultimate Alliance, is that a good series? It always seemed too grindy for me. Maybe I'm talking out of my behind. But I know a lot of people have a soft spot for those games, right? Ultimate Alliance is huge. For a lot of people. Mainly because of childhood. This is where we came from. Are we ready to take a dip in the pool of the water? I think we might be. And then what is here? With getting some levels done. I also wanted to talk to you guys about the whole Batwoman thing, because one of you requested it, and I did want to cover it as well. Okay, we have the key. So the key's in there. We have what we need. We had to go in this location. We got the key. That's good to know. And it's probably going to be used here. So let's see. We got pistols. We got this stuff. And then what is... Odd. Nerd Center. It's not a retro game, but I would like to see you play AC Black Flag. I know you don't really care for AC, but I think that is one you might like. You know what? I was considering it the other day. Maybe even Because I did play the first Assassin's Creed, which I hated. Nintendo, I know you love Assassin's Creed. I hated the first one, and you're very aware of the fact that I hated it. Oh, there we go. Items. Yeah, this is the key that looks like should work. Hopefully no traps are triggered. And then I played Assassin's Creed 2. I thought it was... Okay, prepare for a bear. I don't trust anything in this game. Oh, I don't want to go in there. Oh gosh. Keep running. See, I don't want to go to an area that's going to progress us. Oh gosh. There we go. And we can heal right... Oh, there's another one. Great. How many of them are there? Okay, so it's not that bad. We finished all of them. Let's heal up. Oh, we're running out of medkits. Great. And then that's what I finished on Assassin's Creed 2. This looks like an area that's going to progress us, definitely. So in that case, let's go back and see what else is there to explore. Maybe there's more keys that, sometimes it's better to make sure that you have everything covered, because one time, if you're going to run into a wall, that's just going to be problematic, because then you're going to have to backtrack all the way. So with Assassin's Creed, I did play the second one as well. And I did think it was better, right? No doubt about it. But I do think it suffered from a lot of the same, let's say mistakes would be one way to put it. Because of the combat, it felt very calibrated, if that makes sense. Just because the combat at very early on in the franchise was not... Oh goodness, I was scared that it was some other bear. The combat did not feel very... And I know we're playing Tomb Raider in comparison to that. But Tomb Raider, hey, once you get a hang of stuff, you just do it and it works. But with the combat, because it was very real time and the enemies were coming after you and attacking you, there wasn't a lot of time to think about anything. And even if there was, you would end up doing a lot of things that you did not want to initially do. Let's go for a swim. So you find yourself making a lot of choices or hits that don't necessarily hit the right character, or they do, but it's slower than you wanted. And you end up just getting beat up. Same with the parkour. It's really fun when you run across the rooftops. But occasionally what happens is the ledges. Those are the enemies of the game. Let's save too. Let's save, because I think we made noticeable progress. And I think that's going to be a good place to save. Game. City of Vilcamba. Did we save? Wait. Did we save? Oh no. No. Oh no. We just loaded the old file. Crap. How do you save it then? How do you save in this game now? We just loaded the first file we got. Oh, that's annoying. Crap. Select. I'm pressing A. It's not working. B is working. Oh, hold on. Save game. Oh, crap. I think we... Let's see. What's our health right now? If we run into a bear, that means we loaded the game and we have to redo those sections. Where is oh gosh, it's the bear. Okay, he's back. Yeah. Bull crap, bull crap. At least we know what to do now. Oh, that's so stupid. I'm sorry, guys. That's okay. We know what to do now, but I'm just pissed off. It's so inconvenient the way it was designed. Makes no sense whatsoever. At least we know what to expect, so let's just do the thing. Dang it. But then again, Assassin's Creed 3, I want to play that. I want to play Assassin's Creed 4. I mean, I don't know if I would say I would want to play that, but they look much more interesting than the previous ones. Oh, brother, this guy stinks. That was so inconveniently designed the way they did it for the remaster. What the heck, game? Oh, goodness gracious. That's so annoying. Turn, lady, turn. Girl. Oh, I pressed the wrong button, sorry. Who was about Ezio Saga? What? What about the Ezio Saga? Right, so I played the second game. I didn't like it. I mean, I liked it better. But I still felt like it was very dated, even for when I played it back. Oh gosh. I want to say 20. I don't even remember. Goodness gracious. We're gonna have to do this whole thing again. Once we do this whole thing again, we're gonna go to a different segment. Just so we're not wasting time on this again. But in the meantime, what are you guys saying? I also like for you to play the Sonic Adventure games. Alright, so I'm gonna create a list. And I don't know if I should do the polling on Instagram or if I should do it here. Because sometimes people, I know that a lot of people come in to like view the stream every now and then they dip. So I don't know if I should do it on here. Part of me thinks, yeah, I should do it here because you guys are here. But then not everyone would get to vote. Why does she stop pulling after like 2 pulls? That's weird. As well as Project 006. Oh, that would be hilarious. AC is not horrible, but it's my least favorite of the originals. You mean the first one, right? AC3. Oh, AC3. But it does have the interesting setting. I did hear that it was somewhat controversial for the entire series. Mainly because of how it does its character. Alright, gotta deal with those guys. So, you know, Connor, the character who is half Native American, it feels like it's somewhat, from what I've heard, correct me if I'm wrong about this, but I did hear that the character is not necessarily the most AC character that could exist, right? So that's what I heard. He's not the best one. By the way, I'm glad that I saved, like, even though we made this saving loading mistake, at least I'm glad to say that it happened here and not later down in the game, because we would have a lot more to backtrack. So, hey, we gotta always look at the bright side. But for AC3, like I heard some of the stuff that people were talking about, at least back then. And I don't know how much of that still holds up, because there were definitely worse AC games. there were worse games for sure. Let's see if we can do better with. All right, I forgot about this. What? There's another. No. There we go. AC3. Yeah, as far as the modern day story, everything went downhill from there. Depends what you're referring to. Are you counting from AC Origins, or are you, I think you would say Sparta, right? That's the Greek one. Because that's when they definitely embraced the whole RPG angle. Oh wow, that went much easier than last time. Huh, stupid bear. You don't scare me. Alright, let's kill those foxes. Okay, we're almost back to the spot where we were. Because AC had a huge shift when it came to, well, for one, Origins was supposed to be its return to form, but then because they just oversaturated the market with the same sort of game, which I would argue wasn't the most compelling of them all. Oh gosh, we were not here before, were we? See, at least now we're killing these guys right away and we're losing less health. So that's a good way to look at it as well. There's some bats here. Remember about those. And then Origins came out. And it was supposed to reinvigorate, like give a new life to the whole franchise. And someone could say that it did. Okay, let's see if we can save this time without failing. But I think it was very short term. I think it was still the same game. Okay, make the right choice. Save. We're in the save option. Let's choose the empty slot. And we saved. We have the same amount of lives. Good. Alright, let's go swimming. What's going on? What are we doing? Let's go up. Okay, B is to swim. Okay, got it. What about Y? Nothing. Y doesn't do anything? Okay, just hold B. Got it. Now what? See, it's very dark underwater. Gotta get out of here. Okay, there's air. And then with AC4, that was huge for a lot of people because it introduced the whole ships mechanics, which were supposed to be used in Skull and Bones, but then they kind of forgot about that as well. What's this? Okay, that does not seem to do anything. I don't know why. What's happening? Where are we? I think here's what we're gonna do. We're gonna collect the names from this stream, and also I'll add some of my own propositions of the games we want to play. And then once we do that, we can create a poll on Instagram, but the people who will not take part of the Instagram poll because they're not on Instagram, I'll just ask them, because I know some people who are watching these streams and they're not from Instagram. I'll ask them and I'll take their vote into consideration, and I think we'll get to choose there maybe. I think that's a good way of going about it. Yeah, I want to go into a different segment now, a bit of a shorter one, but it is something that some of you wanted to talk about. And hey, it's about Batwoman. Therefore, it is relevant to what we're talking about as well. Yeah, so I'll take your votes when it comes to the games. Now compile a list on there, and we'll get to decide together. That's going to be a good way of going about it. All right. By the way, did you guys see the new trailer for that one Kevin Costner Western? It looked incredible, I would say. It looked really good. Did you guys see I think it was called The Horizon? It's a brand new trailer of a new show, a new movie that's going to come out in the theaters this summer, and it looked actually incredible. I was surprised by how good it looked. I thought it was going to be like a typical Western situation, where it's just a normal Western, but it genuinely looked like something of a cinematic, like on a cinematic scale. The shots, the compositions, the scales of like the entire environment, it looked incredible. It's called The Horizon American Tale. I think that's what it was called. It's something I am definitely now interested in.
And you?
Here we go. We have our Batwoman. Let me get closer. So yeah, we did talk about Miguel. We did talk about this whole sexualization situation, and unfortunately it's real. We did talk about the multiverses. What else did we discuss? We talked about the Zuko situation with his final scene. And yeah. Cool. Right, so the Batwoman scene. Some of you mentioned the Batwoman scene from like this one animated TV show where one of you was surprised that they allowed something like that to appear on the screen. By the way, Twitch, 43 minutes. What are you referring to, Hoske, on Twitch? Hoske, we start another stream. I'm back the way. Had to get some air. Oh, okay. You probably thought that, there was some interruption and you probably thought that something happened, but that's okay. We're back, and you're back, I see. Cool. Great to have you, as always. And some of you were wondering, like, what is this Batwoman scene that you were referring to? Of course, we were referring to the Batwoman scene from Batman Bad Blood. Let's see if I can pull it up. Some of you have already seen it because I shared it on Instagram. Let's see where it is. It's from Bad Blood. Okay. Yeah, Bad Blood. I think it is from Bad Blood. Correct me if I'm wrong. I do think it's generally a bad movie. Hold on. No, don't show it right away.
And you?
Good. All right. Will we get copyright struck? Hopefully not. We can always flip the screen. I've seen the movie, just been a while. Same. That's why I totally forgot about this scene, and then when I saw a clip of it online on Instagram, it was hilarious. So it's a scene where Batwoman is teaming up with Batman. Actually, let's not flip it. Let's keep it true to the original. I think we'll be able to survive this one as well. I got hit in my video for using a animated Warner Brothers movie clip. Oh, that's interesting. Yeah, Nerd Center put out a new video about the Batman Arkham series. You guys should go check out his channel. But is it still up? Let me check if it's still up, because now I'm interested. And I guess we can take a look at it on Saturday. You know what? Let me just make this screen this way. There we go. Nerd Center. Let me check. Okay, so it's still up. So how did you fix the whole situation then? It didn't get taken down, but there was a claim on it. Okay, that's good to hear. That's definitely good to hear. Good. Yeah, sometimes they claim stuff. And guess what? So far, we are into this stream and we did not get taken down. However, you know, some of the clips that we watched on Saturday, they did get our stream down. But then once they were on YouTube as a video, like one of like the second video remained there, right? Even though that's the one that also got interrupted, the second part of our stream. So it did not get any sort of strike or anything of that sort. It did not get blocked in all these different countries, in all these different regions, like the first part did. So sometimes you never know. We might get taken down right now, and but then once this goes on YouTube as a video, it might be okay. So let's see. Let's see what happens in this scene. This is the scene that we were referring to, and the guy was one of the commenters. I think it was 48 Everfan. He said that he was surprised that they allowed this to happen. And I think this movie came out in 2014, 2016, maybe 2015. I forget, but it's a older movie, so maybe that explains why they wrote her the way they did. They said it was allowed to use YouTube, but it might affect monetization. Okay, yeah, that's typical, and I wouldn't worry about it. I would just keep it that way, since, you know, you're still growing, so it's not that big of a deal. And yeah, we'll watch that video, or at least parts of it, on Saturday, just to kind of reference it. But if you guys can still go to Nerd Center's YouTube channel and kind of bookmark it for later once we're done with this stream. And we're going to reference it in a future live stream as well. But let's watch this scene.
Brag on me for stealing your look. You rag on me for stealing your look.
That was it. That was the clip from Instagram. This is we were just all shocked that this is how they portrayed Batwoman, how quickly she got KO'd.
You rag on me for stealing your look.
And at the end there, you can see her head bounce off of a metal bar. And you can hear the thonk. And she bounces off, and in the corner of the video, you can see her bounce her head off. Her head bounces off. Let's see. There it is on the side. And so we were surprised that, oh wow, they genuinely did not hold back whatsoever. But, you know, it's like they definitely, she got demolished. And this guy did not even break eye contact when he destroyed her. He did not break eye contact with Batman. Terrible casting for the most part. Yeah, these movies had some terrible casting choices. In this universe, Batman sounded awful. Like a very grouchy, emotionless, monotone superhero. Batwoman sounded also monotone, bored out of her mind. Damian sounded like an annoying little kid, which I guess maybe that's a good thing. That works for Damian. But still, the voice for Damian, I wasn't a fan of it. Perhaps like the performance or the way he was going about it worked for the character. But yeah, that did not even... It did sound like something like... I guess the writing was right for Damian. And he was trying to sound like him. But something about the voice still sounded off to me. And I cannot explain why. It wasn't too young. It was very passive, I guess. I assumed the Damian Wayne voice would be more commanding and all that stuff. Like commanding and confident, whereas with this kid, it sounded much more reserved, even though he was saying a lot of lines that did sound like he was, you know, like Damian Wayne. He's supposed to have very robust lines that are supposed to get to you. He did say those things, yet it sounded wrong coming out of his mouth. So yeah, this is the scene. But if you think you're like somewhat surprised that they would portray a female superhero, a lesbian one no less, in this manner, and guess what? It gets worse for her. It's not over. And then Batman doesn't even care. And then she gets up, and what does she do? She's just used as a projectile, and then it doesn't even phase Batman. That's how effective she is. He couldn't care less. Oh, she's just so useless in this fight. It's hilarious. She's such a liability. It's not even funny. So embarrassing for her, and he has to save her and waste his time with her. Of course. What happens here with the physics? Let's see. Oh, and he thought that was going to save her. The whole thing, how did Batman survive that? Okay, he threw her into the water. Thank goodness he had a good throw, I guess. Yeah, that's it.
Brag on me.
So yeah, very interesting how they portrayed this character. And what else? All right. Oh yeah, and I wanted to show you one more thing with the characters, or not the characters, but just the whole theme of our videos that we have. Hold on, let me... Have you guys watched this BBC footage? Hopefully BBC is not the one that takes us down. Is the stream still up on YouTube? It's still up. Okay, we are still alive. Good. And on Twitch, we are also doing fine. Great. So yeah. Did you guys ever see this clip of the BBC choir? Let's just call it. It's a feminist choir. Maybe that rings a bell to some of you. No? Okay. So yeah, let's just watch this. It does represent kind of like the overall theme of what I wanted to show you guys.
About it for this evening, but we are going to leave you with a short taste of a play that opened in London's Soho Theatre tonight. It's arrived here from Belgium. It's called Sirens, and it is described as an irreverent feminist manifesto for the 21st century. To that end, it starts with a scream, or it's actually the cast screaming. Whether you are an irreverent feminist or not, it does seem to capture some of the spirit of the age, the end of human beings, the autumn statement perhaps. So have a listen and have a good night.
Beautiful. Incredible. Far Cry Lego. The patriarchy, I assume. The monkeys are the patriarchy. Don't ask me how I stumbled upon this video. Yeah, I actually took part in the production of this. I shot it, I directed this whole scene. Far Cry Lego, my ears, my are hurting. My poor ears, make it stop. Well, you survived, you're fine. Go back and take another swim. Let's see. Somebody on Twitch. Oh, there's a different person now. It's not Hoske. Aspect Zay 1. What are we watching? Live footage of a special ed class. It's definitely a special class. I would definitely say it's a special class. Hey, by the way, hey Aspect Zay 1. We haven't seen you on here, so it's good to have you here. For the first time watching, I think. Maybe not the first time. All right, so that we were just watching a feminist manifesto at the end of the whole thing. Well, not at the end of the whole thing, but that was basically a BBC broadcast. And if we get taken down for that right now, I'll definitely continue the stream. All right, let's get back into the game. I might have to show you guys the whole trailer for the Kevin Costner film because it has a really cool trailer. Okay, let's swim because we are wasting time. I assume this was just like an area for us to gather enough bubbles, enough air to survive. Let's see where this takes us. This is where we came from. Now we gotta turn. What are we supposed to do now? Lever. Okay. What is... Oh, okay. Let's go up. And where are we? A secret room. If you hear the jingle, it means we're in a secret room. We are seeing so many medkits. That's really cool. Okay, Booby Laura. Look at those triangles. Incredible. Do we want to go back down there? I think we do. Gotta be careful if we run into more wolves. Oh, okay. We're back here. Okay, so let's go back down there. Maybe there's more stuff to be seen. Okay. Right. I think there's nothing here. Oh, there's another lever here. Okay, cool. Let's just get some air before we pull it, because I think we're gonna run out of it soon. But yeah, so for the Assassin's Creed, I do think the fourth one is going to be the most interesting one. Question is, would I play it on the PlayStation 4 or the PlayStation 3? That's the question here. Because I know they remade it for the PlayStation 4. But then again, it originally came out on the PlayStation 3, right? It was like actually was a mid-gen thing. You can play it on PC. See, Far Cry Lego is a huge... Oh, that opened it up. Okay, cool. Let's go back. Hopefully we can make it. Another secret. Cool. I'm kind of scared to go there now. By Steam, you're a huge PC guy, Far Cry Lego. Now that I think of it. By the way, for those wondering on Twitch, some new viewers, we are simulcasting on both Twitch and YouTube Live. So that's for those wondering, like, where are all these other comments coming in from? That's where they're coming from. Now I'm scared to kind of just go inside because you don't know what you're gonna expect. Another secret room, cool. And we found some ammo. Is this gonna collapse? Why do I think it's gonna collapse? Okay. See, always expect the worst with this sort of game. Nerd Center came out on both at the same time. Hosky on Twitch says I had to mute. The BBC segment was so bad. Feminism is the biggest delusion ever. Oh, I thought he was being a hater. Like, relax, bro. Oh, the guy who was commenting? What are we watching? Live footage of a special ed class. I don't know, we're playing a game. I don't know what you want me to tell you. Special ed class. I don't know. I kind of took he was talking about it. Oh, what is this? It's on the side of our screen. Alright, let's take a swim one more time. Do we have it in our inventory? Let's see what it is. Magnum clips. Okay, so it's cool. I guess it's ammo for us. It's just how do you use it? Because if you use it for because if I'm using my gun, it's not automatically going to use it, right? Cool. Oh no, go up. Let's see. So I don't think it would make much difference when it comes to playing AC4 on either one. Huh, stupid bear. Alright. There's like so many games to play. It's crazy. I don't think I have my Steam library have over 700 games, says Far Cry Lego. Wow. Impressive. I think half of them are mods. Okay. Out of the mods that I played, I only did Portal Reloaded. Wait. Are we in the right place? What is this? Oh no, this is the beginning of the level. Okay. I did play Portal Reloaded, and that's it from mods. But that's crazy that you're a huge modder. Cool. I know my copy of Ultimate Marvel vs. Capcom 3 is modded to hell and back. That's good. Is there like a... I was thinking of maybe I should get the game, but I assume the online is pretty dead by now. Right? If it's dead, I might not even bother with it. It's like spending money on it might not be all that well spent money. No? Oh crap. Forgot about that. You got so many medkits now, which is so good. Oh crap. Come out, boys. Where are you? I know there's more of you to come. And that's it. We got all of them. Good. Let's see if there's anything else here. Yeah, I think I'm going to show you guys the trailer for the new movie. It looks great, I think. But just in a bit. And by the way, what do you guys think about the Tomb Raider game? Because it's like, I noticed this now. Is it like, I don't know if it's a good streaming game. Because it's very slow, and I do enjoy playing it. Wow, her hair, her ponytail is so tiny. It's a very slow game, so I wouldn't blame you guys for thinking, hey, there are better games to play. And so I'm open to even changing it, because I can always finish this game on my own. Why can I swim up? Why is she so slow? Sus. Sussy. Very much so. Okay. Ah, the music is back. Awesome. Ah, come on, I pressed the jump button. Ah, great music. So iconic. It's incredible music. Why is she so slow in this water? Let's see if you can hear this sound well. Yeah, I guess you can hear it better than last episode. Oh, come on. It reminds me of Halo now, with the choir coming in. The male choir. Oh no. And a part of me thinks, you know, you guys would rather see me play a different game than Tomb Raider, because I'm really enjoying it. But it is a slow game, and it's very much more about thinking the Tomb Raider, the sequel, is definitely more action-oriented. Come on, I pressed R. I pressed B to jump. I see with this game, I think you have to just press B way ahead of the time. Okay, now she's just acting crazy. Oh goodness, if we fail these jumps, we're gonna get sent back to the beginning. That's gonna be incredible. Why is she so slow in this water? That's crazy. Okay, we gotta time our jump, so I'm pressing B. Oh crap, okay, so we jumped, but now we gotta continue with the holding the action button. Okay, let's see what you guys are saying. I know I have so many mods, says Far Cry Lego, that I made Go Insane from LY. What's LY? It's a good game. Hell, even my Steam Deck is modded to hell and back. Yeah, Steam Deck is a very good investment. Oh, come on. These jumps are tough, especially in such a tight area. I don't know how we're gonna make it till the end, because it's a long way up. You know what games it reminds me of? Getting Over It. Have you guys heard of that game? I'm sure Far Cry Lego, who is constantly on Steam. Okay, I see game. Why is it so hard to jump that? It reminds me of that other area in the same level. Getting Over It is essentially this one game where you can just fail miserably. If you fail your jump, or if you make some sort of mistake. Okay, I think we got a hang of our controls now. One tap is all it takes. Don't hold it for too long, otherwise it's not going to end well. It kind of sucks that the camera is locked in, but it's not going to bother me. Not played it since I don't want to go insane like I do when I play Hotline Miami. Is that a good game? I hear people love that game so much. Okay, we gotta do this, guys, because now things are just getting out of hand. We're gonna be stuck in this cycle of suffering and pain forever. Why is she not jumping? I'm tapping on this stupid thing. What in the... What am I doing wrong? Okay, I pressed B and it did not work. I think it's an issue with my controller. Because if you press it on the side of the controller, it's not going to work. Okay, that's bull crap. Now I pressed it the way it should have. Ooh, amazing camera angle, fan service. Won it, and you get sent to the beginning of level, last level, save level. Oh, that's with Hotline Miami. Interesting. I know a guy who is obsessed with that game. He loves it. But I did not know it was that hard. So yeah, getting over it is basically somewhat like that. See, when I'm pressing it now, it works. So it's just is it about getting a good run? How can I get a good run if it's constantly failing me? What if we tried from the sides? Let's do that. Let's change our strategy here. So yeah, that's what it feels like right now, just playing Getting Over It with, I forget the character's name, but the full title is Getting Over It with Somebody. Let's see. Somebody on Twitch says, Harry66, hi friends. I find your streaming content to be both something, something, something is another. Engaging and enjoyable. Well, so far we're just jumping in the same pool, so that's how I know you're a bot, because it's the same. Yeah, Hosuke says bots. My Discord, please check it out or something. I'm not even gonna bother reading the whole thing. Oh, we did it! Yes, because I did the side jump thing. Oh, this is worrisome. What if we fail this? Oh, I'm scared. Let's see. This is the type of game this game is. A lot of, oh no. Oh no. Oh goodness, this is all so crazy. One misstep and you're all the way stuck to the ground. I mean, you fall. You just fall. You're not stuck anywhere except at the very bottom. Okay, let's not fail this one more time. We got this, right? Let's get a good run. Save now. That's cheating. But guess what? I like what you're saying. Just don't load. Imagine me loading right now. I'm scared of loading this game. Empty slots. How many empty slots are there? Can we override some of the slots? Hopefully. Save. We saved. Oh no, a bat is attacking us. We did it. I don't even see what's happening. Oh, there he is. Come here, come closer. And he's out. Okay, we did it. So yeah, that's what this game is about. It's about figuring out if you've got what it takes in terms of platforming. Get in a car. Get in the truck. Or wait in the truck. Should we pull this lever? I think it's let's see what we have here. Let's look around. Huh, more stuff. But do we want to go there if it means we're gonna have to redo all of that? Or is it oh, I know where this is. This is where we came in from. So if we drop there, that means we have to do all that again. They did that on purpose. And there's some other stuff there. Should we go there, guys? Don't be scared. Pull it. Save now. Okay. Let's pull it and see where it takes us. Should we go down there, guys? Huh, I guess we'll have to go there anyway. Good, but let's just be quick about it. Not very quick, Lara. Just go. Oh crap, that's insane. Don't care. Don't care. Just wanted to make sure this thing wouldn't close. Oh no. Another pool. Okay, this is gonna fall. We're not quick enough. And we're faster than quicker. Oh crap, back. Ooh. What should we do? This stuff is insane. Oh crap, that's dangerous. Okay, whew. Gotta focus on this, because if I fail, it's gonna be really bad. Okay. So we can go this way, right? And do what? Or we can go that way, which looks much easier. What's there? Nothing. That side looks like suicide, honestly. But do you guys think something will trigger if I go into that side? I can just go through this way, so it won't make a difference. Let's go. Oh, crap. Dang it. That's okay. Thankfully, it was just one of them. She did not recover from that impact. Right. Again with the jumping? Seriously? Come on, Laura. We just gotta finish this one level. Okay, I keep pressing the B button and it's pulling off its stupid thing once again. We did it the first time. Great. Did anyone else play AC games? Or is it just Nerd Center? Oh, great. Incredible gameplay. Honestly, I'm not even mad. Like, this is part of the gameplay. This is how you're supposed to be experiencing the Lara Croft games. Jump! And now what? How am I supposed to get up there now? Ooh. Now what? It's over. I played up to AC3. What do you think of AC3? I guess some people would say it's the bad one, but I think a lot of people have kind of softened on it over time. Go, go, lady, go. Why aren't you going? Pressing the action button right now. She's doing nothing. Well, I guess it's over. Like, what can we do now at this point? Okay, that worked. Okay. It was not over. Oh, it's over. Ah, okay. Let's do this one more time. No. Work with me here, lady. You know what? Maybe that guy was right. It does feel like a special ed class. Like, yeah. I mean, referring to myself, it's like a... Perhaps we are educating him on some of the special ed stuff that, you know, this is how a special ed person would play the game. I really wonder if I were to switch my controllers. You know what? Let's be that person. Let's change my controllers. But let's not do it while we drown. I want to see if a different controller will act the same way. Alright, hold on. Let me change the controllers. Mm-hmm. Alright, got a new controller connected. And let's see if it's as bad. Let me try to find the trailer while we're here. The trailer for the Western. I see some comments here already. I played up to AC3, but I mainly played the Far Cry series. It was okay. But I prefer Far Cry 3 more. And now on the Twitch, Hosky says something. Begone witch, referring to the bots. There are some stories where I genuinely, you know, Twitch is playing tricks on me. Where I genuinely do what? Genuinely believe. Gotta close up. There are some stories where I genuinely believe need to be highlighted. I think about your No Way Home review sometime. I just can't remember verbatim. What about my No Way Home review? There are some stories where I genuinely believe need to be highlighted. Oh, you're referring to some of my stories. Yeah. How I sometimes need to highlight some of my stories so that on Instagram, so that more people can come back to them when they want to reference them, or maybe they liked some sort of argument that I was making. That's not a bad idea. You know, I was thinking about that somewhat the other day. Maybe that's a good idea because yeah, I have a lot of stories, but now just going through all of them would be kind of a hassle. But then again, I could go by timestamps, right? Timestamps of, like, for example, if No Way Home came out during December, I would basically I would have to go to December of 2020. What was it? 2021? That's a 2-year-old movie now. That's crazy. 2 years have passed since that movie came out. I remember wanting to post a YouTube video about it, a review critique, and I already started some of it, but I never ended up publishing it because I never finished it. There's a lot of gaping holes in that video, and there were going to be a lot of points from that. Sadness. Okay. Let's pause this game for now. We have a review up on my channel with your thoughts on the movie. Yeah, Nerd Center. That's sometimes when I often went to kind of articulate a lot of the points I made as well. And I actually never told you guys about it on the Instagram, but that's something I was a very regular guest on that show. And I think that just represents some of my thoughts on it. And I would say that a lot of those were also on Instagram. But there was also a lot of new stuff that I did not mention on Instagram that were in those podcasts. So there's a lot of stuff there for sure. For sure, yes. And so, but even then, the video I was making was supposed to be like an edited long form video. And it just didn't end up coming together because, I don't know, sometimes time is, no, you run out of time. That's pretty much it. Okay, let me switch to this trailer. And with this one, we might get struck down. So, we gotta be careful here. With this one, I am definitely going to flip the screen. And I am going to see it's even the same color palette as the game. I'm going to flip it a little bit. And I'll pause every now and then. You know what? Maybe we can even bring back... We can take this. Here's an idea. We'll make you bigger. We'll change your opacity to lower. If we can. Yes, we can. Perhaps this will do something. While we make this bigger. It's a great trailer. So prepare to be amazed. Let me know what you guys think. I'm actually not a Western guy, so I have not watched a lot of Western movies. But this one really piqued my interest, and I always kind of wanted to go and start watching those, but it's always a matter of time. It always boils down to that. There's so many movies and video games that you want to play and watch, and then there's comic books that you want to read, books, and books take forever for me to read, so everything is just a matter of time. But then there's also real life, and then that gets in the way, some other responsibilities here and there. So you just gotta accept the fact that you're not going to watch everything. You are not going to know the most about anything. You're not going to be the expert that you want to be, that you dream to be, and it's never going to be possible. So you just gotta pick a lane, stick to it. But that doesn't mean you can't comment on other stuff. You gotta use the stuff that you know, and perhaps you can use it to know a bit more about what you are. Talking about you not seen GBU, Good, Bad, and Ugly. I have not watched the Good, Bad, and Ugly. I have not seen a lot of Westerns at all. The one I have watched is The Lone Ranger from 2013, which isn't the best Western to start out with. And you're probably going to kill me for that reason alone. But I did enjoy it, okay? I did not hate that movie. And I thought it was enjoyable. The one with Johnny Depp and Armie Hammer. You know, it had its moments. Watch Good, Bad, and Ugly ASAP. The Good, the Bad, and the Ugly ASAP. Maybe, I mean, I want to, but isn't there like an order to these films? Is that like, I don't know if there's like John Wayne, Clint Eastwood, right? And so I think Good, Bad, and Ugly is definitely like a Clint Eastwood film. I think hopefully it is, because if it's not, then you're definitely gonna massacre me. But it is something I was thinking about. But then it's like I gotta watch the previous films, right? Even if they're not canonically relevant. Oh, it's a trilogy. Okay, there you go. So definitely I would have to watch the first one, second one, and the third one as well. So that's a commitment, but it's a commitment I'd be willing to make. But the thing about that is, I think the reason why I have not watched it is because I was always in the back of my mind telling myself, watch all the other westerns, watch as many westerns as possible, and then finish it off with the good, bad, and the ugly. But you're telling me to go with the good, bad, and the ugly first. That comes first, you say. Far Cry Lego. Okay, that's interesting. Because I figured, if it's the best one, or one of the best ones, you got to start with it. I mean, end with it. And, for that era, of course, because I would definitely watch some other stuff like Unforgiven much later. So that's obvious. So watching the others after. Okay. You're saying, no, watch this one first, and so watching the others after. Okay. That's interesting. Didn't it come out after a lot of the typical westerns? I don't know. Let's watch this trailer in the meantime. And since you seem to be the western guy, you can let me know what you think of this as well. Have you seen this trailer? That's going to be interesting to hear what you think. Also, what you think of the Red Dead Redemption games as well. All right.
You and I are standing guard in one of the last great open spaces.
Yeah, there's a lot of these types of shots. Look at that. It looks so cool. For it to be, it's not a green screen. It does not look like a green screen. If it were one, man, it would be an impressive green screen. But it's not. It's obviously not, because that's not how you shoot westerns.
These people think that if they're tough enough, smart enough, and mean enough, all this will be there someday. There's no army of this earth.
That was Sam Worthington, I think, from the Avatar films. Huh, Avatar. I have not watched the second one even. Didn't even bother with James Cameron, who I think lost the plot. Anyway, let's watch the trailer again. I mean, let's go back to the trailer again.
It's gonna stop those wagons coming, little as they're wanted.
And Kevin Costner, he's a huge, from what I know, he's a huge Western star. That's how he made his career, from what I understand. But did he get his start? He didn't get his start in the 50s and 60s, right? That would be too early for him. So correct me if I'm wrong, because that's actually what I'm interested to hear about. I figured he'd be like a 80s, 90s type of Western guy who enjoyed and capitalized on the return of like a Western franchise. Dances with Wolves, that was not in the 50s and 60s for sure. So, but he was huge on that. And then I hear Yellowstone is another great TV show. You said, I think he started in either 70s or 80s.
Get in there, quick. Quick, come on. It's all right. I'm gonna be with Dad. No.
And now this part of the trailer is going to be so great. Let's see what you're saying here. So watching the others first. Red Dead Redemption 1 is great. 2 is excellent. Whoa, that's fascinating. I watched second Avatar film. It was boring. Okay, that's what I expected it to be. I heard it was like the first one. But yeah, this is where the trailer really goes off. I don't know if it's copyrighted, the music.
All I'm trying to do is get as many of us as I can, as far as I can.
This June.
I'd just like to have a drink tonight with someone that knows how to act.
Let's pause it just to be safe. If YouTube is... Because it's Warner Brothers, so who knows?
You're not taking the full measure of this, Mary. I know the man I met was on his way to kill everyone in that house. He might as well have been walking up to get the mail for all it bothered him.
The American Saga. The saga begins in June, so it's a two-parter movie actually because it's a event film. So it's interesting because you have part 1, part 2 films that are usually spread out a year apart. But this one is chapter 1 comes out in June and then part 2 comes out in August. So it's movie studios experimenting with their release schedules. That scene looked great. So it's the daughters who are stuck and the wife stuck underground and they're running out of air, so they're using a gun to breathe through the ground. It looks really intense.
What you build, they will burn down.
I'm just excited to see how well it has all been captured, and just by going off of this trailer alone, it looks great. I mean, that's what I think, and it really makes me want to watch the older ones first, the older westerns. Nerd Center says I don't remember Costner being in westerns, but I'm not well versed on them. Only Yellowstone is kind of in that vein. Far Cry Lego says I'm more well versed in horror and Silent Hills, which is still kind of like psychological horror, as well as Carpenter films. The guy who made The Thing, basically. John Carpenter. I think that's what his name is. I don't want to play the rest of the trailer because, one, there isn't that much left. Well, there's 30 seconds, which might seem like a lot, but I do think the whole trailer is 3 minutes long, which I think is way too long for a trailer. So it already I'm already sold after the first minute. And so there's no point in showing more stuff. Let's bring back the screen. So yeah, I don't know. What do you guys think of it? Maybe showing it on screen did not do it proper justice. But it really stuck with me, especially the visuals. And I'm interested to see because I wonder how they will depict the natives, because usually the modern movies tend to take their side. So we'll see. And it depicts Americans usually in a very negative light. So I'm interested to see if he will lean into that. Because if he does, well, then we have a problem here. So hopefully he doesn't. All right. Let's go back. And where are we now? Oh, right here. Oh, crap. I keep forgetting that the Y button, the A button is not the B button, because I always think A is for platformers, right? When I play Mario, I usually use A to jump. Also, thoughts on the new Planet of the Apes film of this year. I'm not a fan of the recent ones by Matt Reeves. The two Dawn of the Planet of the Apes, and then the last one he did, which was War of the Planet of the Apes. I have not watched the first ones, the ones from the 70s and all that stuff. Okay, so it's not just this, it's not just the Switch controller. Okay, good. Good to know. But it's not just, I have not watched the originals, which some people love, but then again, it's like, once you know the twist, are they still good? Are they? That's what I want to know. But I have watched the new ones, which I did like Rise of the Planet of the Apes. But aside from that, I did not like Dawn. I think it dragged on way too much. There we go. Now let's not fall. Please. How do we do this now? We gotta be careful because there's a hole in there, so gotta readjust a little bit. There we go. Very risky, as you can see. This game really knows how to play with you. Let's just be safe and walk forward. Okay. And so when I saw the Planet of the new one, which is, I forget what it is. Oh, I really don't want to make that step forward. Frick. Oh gosh. Crazy stuff. Okay. Now turn around. Just turn around. That's all you have to do. Thank you. I don't even... Leave me alone. I don't even want to go there anymore. At this point, it's going to be impossible. I know I should save. But I don't want to. I'm not even going to go there. Alright, we're up here. What now? But by the way, how are we doing in terms of the secrets? 2 out of 3 secrets. Pickups 10 out of 13. So we're doing a pretty good job. We probably missed one secret somewhere here right now. Okay, nothing here. And like I said, the movie's going to be a 2-parter, so that's also going to be interesting. Oh, this is what's going to open up the secret door. Wait, what? What? Is this the... Were we here just before? Are you kidding me? Why did I walk all this way for? No, it's a different location. Good. Is this timed too? We're gonna lose a lot of health if we just jump down there, but oh well. We didn't lose any health. Good. Now what? Oh, there's a medkit. Here we go. Oh gosh. Should we save? Kind of don't wanna. But if we die, we're gonna lose and die. Plus, we saved once before, right? So, no, we saved twice. Let's save just to be safe. Because if that's a 1-kill thing, I don't want to find out. So for the Planet of the Apes, the new one, I think it looks okay. I think it looks just like every other one, which has not blown me away, except I did like the Rise of the Planet of the Apes. Save. And that's that. Really nothing more to say about that whole thing because it's going with the plot of the girl is the key. Did we make it to the other side or did we just revert? We reverted, okay. There's nothing on this side, nothing on that side. Good. That was easier than I thought it would be. No. No. The controls cannot kill me right now. Okay. And I see the final keyhole on the other side. Oh no, there's a bear waiting for us. No, we've been bamboozled. What's up with your slow swimming, girl? You're not helping us. We're about to die. If you don't hurry up, we're gonna die. Why is she slow all of a sudden? Okay, I guess it's because we're not holding it. Okay. This bear is gonna kill us. Mr. Bear, please calm down. We are ready for you. Come out. Cracker. Oh, I forget that Twitch likes to ban people for using that word. Ha. Easy. Okay. And there's a secret door. No, that's the one we came from, right? Yes. I mean, we were supposed to come from, but it tricked us. Cool. I think we're about to finish this level. We did it, everyone. And so, by the way, for those who don't know the story in this game, well, so far it was that we got hired to do a job, right? By somebody, because we are known explorers. We are known for somebody heard of us based off of a magazine. They read a magazine somewhere of us fighting a Bigfoot or discovering the Bigfoot. What? Did that stop something? Why do we care about that? I don't even know. This place looks shady. We're supposed to find something here. What is this wall? So I saw something underwater. Oh, this is the keyhole, I guess. The keyhole is right here, but I did see something over there. So this is where we came from, but this place over here. Let's go there. Come on, girl. Let's see. Yeah, the girl is the key is just an overplayed plot point for me, I would say. The new film looks like a mix of reboot films and OG films. That's good for OG fans. The OG films are amazing since I seen all films in the series. Even the Tim Burton one, which is just pure crap. Also, thoughts? Okay, you already asked that. Cool. Let's see what Hasuke is saying on the Twitch channel. Don't do that. Just start new. Okay, so you want me to do the highlights starting from now so that I don't have to go back. It's not that serious to go back. I just want to start fresh. Okay, I could probably do that. Starting fresh. No problem. Let's swim before we die. I forget we can just hold the B button. Let's see. Awesome. Is this the final secret? Like, the keyhole is probably like the last thing that we have to open. But let's just make sure we have everything we want and need. See, there's always something. Oh. What was the keyhole for? Was this an alternative way of... Was the keyhole an alternative way of getting there? Weird. Do you guys think there's something that, like, since we turned off the seesaws, or whatever they're called, the blades of fury, do you guys think there's something there now? If we kind of check, we can do that, right? If we paused it for a reason, then there might be something there. So might as well just check. And it opened, so... Oh, there's something here. Oh, that's the trap, okay. There's nothing here, nothing there. What if these were to turn on, like, right now? What do you guys think would happen? There's nothing here. And there's nothing really there. So that's interesting. Now that the original graphics are kind of too dark. It's permanent for permamentia. Wait. Wait, what are you saying, Far Cry Lego? Oh, you're talking about Sonic 3. Which is also thoughts on Sonic Movie 3 being based on Sonic Adventure 2 and a bit of Shadow. It's going to be interesting to see what they change from the games, since I be replaying the adventure games. Currently I'm permanently for movie 3, or, well, the thing about the Sonic games is I've played only a few. Oh no, oh no, oh no, oh no. I told you this would happen. These trolls, this game is a troll. See, this is the problem with this game. They're trolling us hard right now. Let's just go back. We're done here. We're not doing any more of this. Next thing you know, it's going to revive the bear and it's going to be over for us. Alright. What now? I guess that was supposed to... Okay. So the key is still going to be used. Good. Let's use you, and we are done, ladies and gentlemen. Hopefully, I mean, I think that's what's gonna... We did it! We completed City of Vilcabamba. Amazing name. We completed it in 1 hour and 32 seconds. You know what? I asked somebody how long it would take us to complete these levels. Somebody told me, a fan of the series who has played all the games, he told me, oh, it's just going to take like what? 40 minutes. And then he told me that the most difficult ones that are happening at the end, he said that, oh yeah, a bit over 40 minutes. So maybe an hour long for the more difficult levels. But we are playing this game. We've been playing this game for 1 hour and 32 minutes. So, hey, this person is just a very good player when it comes to Tomb Raider games. Alright, so answering your question about the Sonic movie. And I wonder if there's a cutscene after this. I don't think there will be, but I'm interested to see where this will take us, to a new environment perhaps, maybe not. But answering your question on Sonic 3, I think it's, I did not like the first film. I did not like the second film even more. because I like all the Sonic stuff, right? I'm a fan of all that, even though I'm not like a huge Sonic fan, but I'm a fan of like some of the cartoons and some of the merchandise that is available out there, and the games too have their bright spots. But that's something I should probably start. They're definitely like the whole Sonic fandom is to me just interesting, insightful, because like I'm almost shocked by how many fans that franchise still has, because its games have been so lackluster and so disappointing to many, right? So it's like how many bad games does it take for that franchise to die? And the answer is zero, or I guess infinite games, because that franchise is not going away ever. If like every other franchise with that amount of output, with that many awful games in its library, that would not survive. But there's something about Sonic that is intended to last. Sonic will outlive every single character, even Mario. I think if Mario games started being awful, Nintendo would go under and people would stop playing Mario games. But Sonic has a dedicated fan base that will see it regardless. And it's because not only because of the gameplay, but just the aesthetic of Sonic is for some reason just so appealing to so many people. And that's what's drawing so many people to the character. People love their Sonic. You can't tell them no. And I wonder if some of it has something to do with the furry community. Maybe not. Hopefully not. I don't think so. But weirder things have happened. So, but it's always like this. He's a 90s icon, and he represents 90s perfectly. Yet still, he is in the way modernized to a point where he works in the modern day, and he doesn't seem out of touch. It's a weird thing because a part of him feels somewhat displaced in time, but then it works. Maybe it's the irony of it all, right? I don't know. But when it comes to like Sonic the movie, the third one, I hope it's better than the first two, because Robotnik in the first film and the second film, that was not Eggman. Say what you want, Jim Carrey is not Eggman. He is playing himself. But this time he is wearing this awful bald cap that does not look good on him. He looks like a Lazy Town character, if anything. And yeah, that's my opinion of the first two films, especially the second one. I really like Tails and Knuckles. I'm a fan of those characters. The Knuckles TV show looks awful because it looks like a retread of the first Sonic film. And it's like the most typical thing that Hollywood does with these properties. It takes something that's known, something that's popular, something that's unique, and it mixes in humans somehow into it. And there's this generic plot where they have to go to the big city, a real life location, save the world. And it's usually it's like the Smurfs did the whole thing as well. The Smurfs film had the same plot. The Barbie movie had the same plot in a way. So they like to do that to these franchises. And let's make sure this thing doesn't disappear. Okay. Yeah, so I hope that the third film is better, because the second one already had some identity politics into it, as identity politics injected into it. Do you recall the scene with the wedding with the black fat woman, where for whatever reason the movie became about her for 20 minutes straight for no reason whatsoever, other than to meet some kind of diversity quota that did not have any purpose in the film other than to give her some sort of dialogue, right? So I think when it comes to Shadow, he is another great character that fans love. And Metal Sonic, I prefer Metal Sonic, of course. And he wasn't in the second film, right? For some reason, I always think that he was in the second film. I don't know why. It's a weird thing that it's like a Mandela effect for me, I guess. But Shadow is so beloved that I hope fans will be... he's also a pure. He's not a 90s character, I guess, but he's a 2000s one. He represents the 2000s so incredibly well, and he's another character that you laugh at him, but then there's something also he's also cool, right? So I think the movie has a lot going for itself as always. It's also great kids entertainment, so families will definitely go to see it. So it's going to be successful, but can it be more Sonic than like actual Sonic? Or will it be more of the same that we've had before? And I think it's definitely going to be more of what we had before with these movies in particular. Far Cry Lego. It takes for us to... I've been a Sonic fan since I was a kid. It takes for us to give us another 06 or boom level game to make that happen, referring to what it takes to destroy the franchise, to bring it down. I still think that if you created like 5 more 06 games, people on the internet would meme that to death and it would become a cult classic. Same with a Sonic Boom game. Far Cry Lego also says that if they F up the adventure remakes, which is a thing that's happening, I heard, yes. I remember that wedding scene. Lucky with them doing Sonic Adventure 2, they can use Gun and Maria stuff for the human stuff. Is Maria the wife of James... I forget his name, not James Gordon, but James Marsden. Is that his wife for the human stuff? I don't remember the character names, the human character names. Since they are part of the main story, at this point you almost have to include them since if you don't, I mean, it'd be weird for you not to include them since they've been in the first 2. So you have to do it at this point. I heard it is going to be 12 rating. Thanks to Maria being it in the film. Maria is Eggman's cousin. Oh, okay. I did not know that. Who got shot by a gun who was a child. That's interesting. Okay, that's something I didn't even know about. And also Hosuke on Twitch says, I know Sam from Clash of the Titans. Oh, right, here. Oh, okay, you're referring to Sam Worthington. He played in Avatar, but he did also play in Clash of the Titans and the sequel, Wrath of the Titans. Yeah, I do remember those films as well. They were okay. All right, let's see if there's a cutscene here. I don't think that there will be one, but I'm interested to see at least where this will take us. So let us see. Like, again, when it comes to Sonic, like, oh yeah, that's a franchise I would also love to get into, but there's so many different ones, and maybe that's why it's a good thing that you guys could vote on it. And nothing. No cutscene. That's okay. But let's see where we are now. I think we should save, although it probably saved. I hear a waterfall. I heard a waterfall. That's pretty cool. I like me some waterfalls. Did it save is what I need to know. It did not. So let us save. And cool. It's a waterfall level. Cool. Let's just look around. What if we jump into the water? What's going to happen to us? That's what I expected would happen, honestly. Oh, wow. Cool, but I think we missed some stuff, so it's a good thing that we saved there. Girl, you must be so cold right now. The one thing I'd want to know, and I guess I can already include that in the post, do you guys even want me to continue the Tomb Raider games? Because it's like, I mean, I like playing them. Oh no. But is it even entertaining for you guys? I assume like some of it might be entertaining. But and I would say it's fun to watch it, but some of it might not be. No, some of it's different when you're playing the game and you're watching it, so you never know. Far Cry Lego. Play Sonic Adventure 2 to understand it more, as in Sonic 3 I assume, as well as Shadow's game, since those go into detail on Shadow's backstory, but I think Sonic X Shadow will be out this year. I think it will also be in it. This level looks cool. The whole waterfall thing. And you can even go back to where we began. Cool. Oh my gosh. That did not need to jump out. Ooh. Oh my science. All these jump scares are so unnecessary. And yet it's so interesting. Just shoot, shoot, shoot. Go wild. Okay. We'll finish it here for sure. Let's just see if we can go back. Is there nothing here? I guess nothing. Okay. Cool. So is the Sonic Generations that's coming out, is it like a... Because I know Shadow is supposed to play a bigger role in it now. So I'm interested to hear if it's like more of Sonic Generations, but it's got this Shadow reskin to it, or if it's something else completely as well. So this is where we started, I believe. Yep, this is where we started. Okay. Let's see what you guys are saying at the end there. Let's see. But I think Sonic X Shadow will be out this year. It will also be in it since that is being made for fans and people who only know the films. Since it has Black Doom in the trailer, I am a Sonic lore expert. I believe you. Far Cry Lego. It's a remaster remake that has a new campaign for Shadow. Cool. Alright. I think... What do you guys think? I think this is a good place to end the stream. I'm gonna leave you with one final clip. You'll never know which one it is, but I want to thank you guys for being here again. It means a lot to me that you're here, as always, and I'll be definitely asking you more about what you think is going to be the next game we should play. Maybe we can even, cut the series here if you guys don't like doing Tomb Raider anymore. But we'll see. We'll see. You guys have been pretty silent on the Tomb Raider series, so maybe who knows? Maybe that means that should be a good indicator that maybe we should stop with the series. But Saturday is Batman Arkham Asylum, so I think that's a series that is going to hold up well. It's also a great game for viewers since there's a lot happening on the screen. You meet so many different characters. You're thrust into so many different scenarios. Not that is not the case with this game, but it certainly is paced differently. Whereas Tomb Raider is more about thinking about the puzzles, looking for various locations, hidden hideouts.
That's about